Am I doing it?
Hello, Blaine Andrews here, local business owner and critic enthusiast. Are these critics constantly clickety-clanking around on their keyboard? Are their terrible reviews driving you crazy? Is your critic clawing away at the very fabrics of society with their terrible opinions? Think there's no answer? You're so stupid. There is! Critic Mittens. Finally, there's an elegant, comfortable mitten for critics. I didn't hear a thing. Is your critic one-armed or have fat sausage fingers, a skinny bird-like physique, or just no fingers at all? That doesn't matter because one size fits all. Critic Mittens, you'll be smitten. So come on down to Criticless.com. We're the home of the original Critic Mittens. And how?
Warning. The following show features reviews from wildly unprofessional critics operating without the supervision of professionals. The thoughts and opinions held by these individuals are not to be taken seriously and do not come from a place of intellectual integrity. This show doesn't reflect the opinions of Criticless or its users. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up? What's up? What is up, everybody? Hello, and welcome to another episode of Criticless Cast Unhinged. We are back. We are ready to freaking do this. We're getting closer and closer to Halloween, and I'm ready for it. It's obviously the best season of the year. It feels fantastic outside. The leaves are falling. All of the old people are leafing. They're leafering around here in North Carolina, whatever weird shit they do where they just cruise around and stare at trees. You know, all the things are happening right now. It's great stuff, but I am excited to be here, and I am ready today to talk about a film that all of you guys voted on and really wanted us to do, which is Ghost Ship, which came out in 2002. I have not seen this movie in ages. I legit do not know the last time. Maybe middle school was the last time that I saw it. So this was really interesting to go back to, and definitely excited to talk about it because, per usual, this is one of our critic-hated films. I think this thing got absolutely lambasted on all of the critic sphere and on obviously Rotten Tomatoes. But I think also it actually did not do fantastic by the general audience either. So this is one of those that's more of a nostalgic thing, I think, for a lot of millennials as well, but we'll definitely get into it for a little bit. I know that you're hearing Matt in the background. I need to go ahead and introduce him. What's up, Matt?
Hey, everybody. What's going on? Thanks for joining.
Yeah. So we got Matt back in the house, but what we don't have back in the house is Chris. I would turn it on his camera. I don't even know what would happen.
I was about to say,
pointed at a wall,
black screen.
Yeah, just
that interest.
But yeah, Chris is he's with his mail order bride again. I guess I don't know. He claims he's very.
He was sleeping.
Yeah, he's been sleeping a lot. I think that AI bride is really doing a number on him. You know, he's Chris is out there getting his cheeks clapped by the AI.
He brought the whole penetration. System and all.
Yep, exactly. Chris is up to some weird stuff. It's clearly what's the case. So we don't have Chris, but I do see all of you guys in the chat. Hello, everybody. Nice to have all of y'all in here. I see a lot of the usuals. We got Life on Marshmallows, Gas Station Burrito. We got Beach Dad, and a lot of our Crit Cult members. And if you are not a member of the Crit Cult, definitely do that, because then you can get stickers like our Jaws sticker or our Pack Rim stickers that you can be sharing in the chat as well. But we got Donna Hall, and we got Crisco, we got JJ Happenstance, and actually I was going to pull up again. We got Couch Tater gifting 5 Criticless Cast memberships.
Yeah, much love.
Yeah, dude. Thanks so much, Couch Tater. Really appreciate it. Also, we have regularly StreamYard giving us the pixel stuff again because they do that. I don't know. They give us the pixel art every once in a while.
It's like why have any rhyme or reason around here?
Right, because it's
the Wild West.
Right, it's totally on brand, but also like now it's green. Like I don't know why our stuff's green now. It used to not be green.
I don't know. They enjoyed something, I guess.
They do whatever they want around there at StreamYard, and so which I did see today. They added some feature future where we could actually stream like this and also in vertical at the same time, so we could like stream it to TikTok or Instagram or wherever.
That's actually pretty nifty.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
We should start doing that.
Right. So I don't know. Maybe we'll do that just to see what happens. But so they added that. And we got a new member as well. We got Jim Watari in here. So what's going on, buddy? Nice of you to join. We really do appreciate it. And there are a lot of new folks in the Criticless sphere and in our community. We last week things went kind of bonkers, and we we were featured on Friday Night Tights, and so everything was announced where we are partnering with Geeks and Gamers and that Park Place, and really just kind of the whole community and Ripperverse, all of the fellowship. Everybody's kind of just teaming up as this concerted effort to really make this counterculture push in the direction that all of our companies and all of these little microcosms of the internet are kind of uniting to do. So that came up last week, and so we've had a lot of new folks find us and find Criticless. So if you are new to our channel and what we're doing, hello and glad to have you here. And I see Sin's Corner, and if nobody is subbed to Sin's Corner, her channel, she does great stuff over there. But yeah, totally forgot about Ghost Ship, and I only saw it once. So yeah, same for me. I think I had only seen it once as well, and this was one of those. I am going to share later my qualms with streaming, which I have many of, but with streaming this movie in particular, some weird shit happened. So I don't know. Very aggravating. I found out that they are actually, no, we'll do it now. We'll talk about it now.
Why not?
Yeah, why not talk about it? Right. So streaming is doing this really weird thing I've noticed. I think that it is something, this has got to be a new thing because I've never seen it before.
Okay.
So I kept looking. I looked on Criticless. I looked on other websites, and they kept saying this movie is streaming on AMC Plus. And I was like, sweet, it's on AMC Plus. I have AMC Plus. I subbed for it for Monday Hangover like a couple weeks ago because you also get Shudder with it, and it's like $6 for both. I'm like, why the hell not? Like, watch all the horror movies during the season, whatever. So I subbed to AMC Plus, and it's saying it's on AMC Plus. Get on AMC Plus. Guess where Ghost Ship is not? On AMC Plus.
Really?
Yes. So then you ready for this? Here's the kicker. So then I look again. I search on the Roku device, and it's like, it's on AMC Plus. And I'm like, bullshit, it is. And so then I look, and underneath it, it says on AMC Plus via the Roku channel and on AMC Plus via Amazon Prime. Have you ever seen this?
No, but it's interesting that you're saying something like this because I went through Prime.
Yeah.
Because I was like, man, I think we'd already used our free AMC Plus like a month or two ago. It's something we did. And so I was like, well, I'll just double check. Why not? If I can get another free one, cool.
Right.
And so I checked, and it was like, oh, it requires you to have the subscription. And I was like, oh, I don't really want to pay for the subscription. So I didn't. I ended up just renting it.
Right.
But so you're saying it made you, instead of doing it through AMC Plus, like the app itself, you had to have gone through Prime or Roku channel
and subbed
through the AMC.
Yes.
But it had to be on Prime or Roku channel.
Yes. Yes, you literally had to, yes, you have to specifically sub to the Roku channel version of AMC Plus or the Amazon Prime version of AMC Plus to get access to certain things on streaming. This is apparently something new that they're doing, but if you're subbed directly to AMC Plus, you don't get it. So, and this is not just with AMC Plus. I think other ones are doing it too.
Yeah, this is how they're going to work themselves into non-existence.
Right.
I mean, they're already increasing prices. Did you see, like, I think it's like Disney, Max, and something
like Hulu or something, or
well, those are all together.
Yeah,
but they increased their prices.
Yeah,
but something else also just increased. Oh, Xbox.
Right. Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. Everybody lost their crap about that. Yeah.
I think one of those streaming services did increase their price though, and I was like, really? Y'all doing this now?
Right. Right.
Come on.
Yeah, it's wild. So just be on the lookout. If you see that things are streaming certain places and you're sub to it, it does not necessarily mean that that's the case. They are doing shenanigans over there, these companies, and clearly making like backdoor deals with Roku or freaking whatever, and it's some bullshit. So,
well, they're not even being clear about it.
Right,
so,
right.
Like you were saying, like you signed up for AMC or you already had the signed up for it,
right?
But you went to go watch it and you couldn't.
Right. Yeah.
That shouldn't be. I mean, I guess they fine printed the shit out of it, but like. What?
Right. It's freaking weird. I don't know. Not happy about it. So I ended up having to pay to rent it, even though I was subbed to AMC Plus. So
yeah, what
the hell ever. But, it was kind of one of those things. As it goes, it just was very aggravating. And Bookstore Store said that Peacock is doing it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. They're all literally doing it. So it's just
about to get canceled.
Yeah. Xbox is feeling it bad from them doing their shit.
I keep meaning to cancel except my son has now gotten into gaming and he keeps being like, oh, I want to play these games on Pass. I'm like,
dude, Game Pass becomes more handy than ever when you have kids. Between the like shorter attention spans, access to like just all of the catalog of all these games, it's just kind of like I'd kind of rather just pay $30 a month and then they can just play whatever. And
versus like our childhood of being like, we have 3 games.
Right.
We have to like perfect these games.
Right, which is fine, and that's kind of what we all had to do as kids. So I guess like first world problems kind of a thing. But yeah, so I don't know. Yeah, weird things are happening in the streamsverse. I have been warning forever about streaming and physical media and all that stuff. It's like
what sucked is I swore I had this and 13 Ghosts
on
our physical collection. And I was like rummaging through because we have just like a big binder. It's like this big. We threw away all our cases and like combined it all into
which is blasphemy, but
Yeah, blasphemy to many. However, we had like 300 movies. And we don't want to display 300 cases.
Right.
And I was flipping through the whole thing. I was like, dang it, we don't have either of them.
Right.
Which I was surprised by.
Yeah, as it goes. I keep running into that too. And then you find the weird thing where you're like, oh, I own this DVD. It's completely out of print and it's now worth $200.
Like, yes, maybe I will sell this.
Right. Like when what was it? There was one I let you borrow recently that wasn't anywhere. It was 28 Days Later.
Yeah.
The original. And you couldn't buy it.
Yeah.
And it was like literally like over $100 for that copy of it. So yeah, who knows, man. But I think what we need to do now as we kick off every single one of these shows is really just to get you guys cultured, to let you know what is happening in the internet. And let me tell you, it is going to be hard to cover everything that I want to cover this week because so much has happened over the weekend that a lot of you have probably missed or only heard bits and pieces about. So let's go ahead and dig into that. Which now that we officially have Nerderotic, we have Gary on Criticless. If you did not know, Gary is now using Criticless, and being that that's the case, it has been the idea has been thrown out there that we should actually change the old man in that bumper to be Gary. So we might need to change it to just a confused Gary, and maybe he'll get wind of it, and we'll see.
Cancel us.
Right? Yeah. No, he will completely agree that he is a grumpy boomer. Likely. So
hey, perfect.
As it goes. But so anyways, as far as culture goes and all of the things happening, I am going to go ahead and pull up the TikToks since I am accused of being a TikTok kid, which is ridiculous because I am older than like most of the people in this streaming community outside of like Jeremy Griggs and some of the other guys. So it was funny. I was talking yesterday on Bro Science and I made some statement about like college and how long I've been married or whatever. And I saw multiple comments being like, oh God, is Blaine like way older than we thought he was? I'm like,
maybe a little old.
Right. I'll embrace it if you guys think I am younger than I actually am because I feel old regularly these days. And by the way, Couch Tater, I did see your message about my babe of the week should have won on Bro Science this week. If you guys don't watch Bro Science, we pick a hot babe every week, and I pick the hottest babe every week, but I have lost the past 3 weeks, and I am not happy about it. All of a sudden, Jay, Drunk 3PO, comes out of nowhere on the stream when I leave, gives a suggestion for Babe of the Week, and the chat chooses his, even though mine was definitely the hottest one. So.
Almost seems like favoritism.
I accuse the chat of that regularly. I think Couch Tater would agree that, every time we have a guest that pops on, they end up beating us. But it's all right because I'm still beating Beardo, so there's that. I mean,
a little. Yeah. A little prize there.
Right, exactly. It could be worse. I could be just in dead last, which granted, it's Beardo's show and he's in last. So, poor Beardo.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, but anyway, so all right, so going on into the culture here, I was really kind of struggling. I think what I want to start with is the DoorDash issue because I have not seen the DoorDash thing on X. I have not seen anybody in our community talking about it, but it is freaking everywhere.
What?
And so you clearly don't know about it either.
Well, I don't DoorDash
anything.
So I don't pay attention to it.
Technically does not have to do with, well, it does and doesn't have to do with DoorDash. They didn't do anything, but their employee did. Okay, so I'm going to pull up a video and I'm going to turn down the volume on it. Or actually, I don't really need to. So this guy's head is covering it up. So this is the original video is being shared, but essentially what happened, you were looking at footage that a DoorDash driver has taken from someone's house.
Yeah. Okay.
They filmed it. The reason that this dude's head is floating there is because this dude is butt naked on his couch. So the guy is covering up with his head, the naked dude. So this is the original footage. So this whole thing has spiraled absolutely out of control. I'm curious if chat knows about this whole thing. But basically what happened is that this young woman got a DoorDash order. On the DoorDash order, it said, place it on the porch. You don't need to knock. You don't need to do anything. Just leave the food. Go on your way. So apparently the full version of this, I don't think the door was actually even open all the way. At least that is what I've heard. There are rumors. It's been hard to find the full original video.
Okay.
Either way. So she shares this dude in the nude in his own house.
Yeah.
On social media. And then the claim was that she was SA'd. So like assaulted.
Okay. But after that video we just saw, because it didn't look like it before it.
Right. That was all that happened was she walked up, saw this dude naked, and then started screaming, I was assaulted.
Okay.
And so at first the internet was like kind of on her side. And then what happened was that everyone turned on her because they were like, homie, you weren't assaulted. This dude should have not been naked on the couch by the door.
His door shouldn't have been open.
His door shouldn't have been open. But basically, from the sounds of it, like likely the dude was like drinking or whatever, passed out, like gooning. I don't know what he was doing.
I mean, he was just laying on his couch.
Right.
Even if his door was open, I mean, obviously that's messed up and shouldn't have. Nobody should be forced to see somebody naked.
Right.
But it seemed like, and if people are saying like the door was pushed open by her. Right. Then that's something where she should have just dropped.
That's on
it.
you.
That's why most delivery people, because I can creep on people when they deliver stuff to my house because my front house is like all windows. And I see so many people, they just walk up. They don't look at anything. They don't look at the windows. Right. They don't even know what color my house is. They literally are looking down. They sit the stuff down. They take their picture and they walk off. I've very rarely do people actually look in
and peek in and whatever. And I can imagine like man or woman, like you see somebody in their own house naked and you're just like, ugh, like that's ridiculous. And you just go on about your day. Like that's wild, but they're in their house. You don't post it on the internet and then be like, I was assaulted. Like,
yeah. Cause it's not, no,
right.
No, it's not how that works in any sort of way. And that's why everyone I'm sure turned on her because it's not how that works.
Right. Well, and it comes back to what we've talked about a gajillion times, which is this whole like redefining things, changing what the definitions of things are. And it's like, it is not assault to see someone, like to see a person, like, come on. Like, and it's not even like he was like at the front door, like with his junk out, just be like, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah, it was like a peeping Tom situation where you like yank the door open and like reveal that he was naked.
Right.
Seems to be not the case.
Right. Right. Exactly. So the whole thing, super wild. She did put out a video crashing out about this whole situation because she got fired. Which she did. Should have been fired. But yeah, I can share it.
Hey guys, so DoorDash just deactivated me 2 days after I reported my sexual assault. Hey guys, I just lost my job and they won't tell me why. They're supposed to send an email.
Yeah, they won't tell you why. Maybe because you shared one of their customers' images nude on the internet and made it go super viral.
Yeah,
and then
kind of will not look good for the company and look good on the you.
Right. And then redefined what assault was.
Immediately after deactivation, providing you the reason why and a link to appeal. And they didn't. So I contacted support and they made me sit on the phone with them for 50 minutes just to tell me that they can't tell me the reason why and I have to just go ahead and appeal without knowing why.
She knows why.
Right. Like,
and she is be like, oh, pity me. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Yes, you do.
You do. I love this photo right here somebody took. They're like, this is a new meme.
That is a new meme.
Right. And I like this person's like, it's called DoorDash, not Living Room Dash. Like
it's not called Peeping Tom Cash.
Right. Exactly.
Which
so
obviously she's trying to make cash off it.
Right.
They have my money in that account. I was working. I was literally working and they deactivated me. This is related. They just punished me for posting about my sexual assault while door dashing. They just fired me. And the police are doing nothing. I lost my job. And
if anything, you should be charged.
Money to pay my bills.
Right. She's going to be lucky if she, and I've seen guys saying they're basically like, bro, if you're the dude, whoever is the dude, don't say shit. Don't put don't put out a video, nothing. Just freaking show up with the lawsuit, brother. Slap them with it.
Oh yeah, and it'd just be like, here, you've been served. You're due in court for, whatever charge they want to do. Because I mean, I'm trying to think like what laws were being broken. I guess he posted somebody naked on the internet, so that's technically porn.
Right, as Mar said, actually, she sexually assaulted him. Like facts. Like
she's evaded his privacy.
Right,
posting nude pictures of him. I'm sure that's some sort of pornographic law.
Well, and it's like, okay, look, let's say that you really think that this is like that your perception of this is correct.
Mm-hmm.
You don't post it online. You send it to DoorDash and be like, I just encountered this from this customer.
Yeah, but she wanted money.
Right, exactly.
How many views did the original video get? I mean, obviously we saw a repost, but I wonder how much the original.
I think she took it down. It's because it has been hard to find. But this share, or this one, this comment about it has 24 point something million.
Yeah.
So the original
was obviously in the millions. I wonder, like, if you post a video and it goes viral, let's say 20 million or whatever.
Right.
And then you delete it, you still get the money from it.
Right.
It's based on what you've already earned, not like future earnings.
Right.
So she probably made a good business. She was like, oh shit, I need to take this down. I've already somebody probably told her like, you're going to like regret posting this.
Right.
And so she took it down and then she got fired, but she's probably going to get, I don't know, what, $100 or something like that.
Yeah. She'll get her little bit of money back and then possibly get sued.
Lose it all.
Yeah.
Not just your easy to get DoorDashing job.
Right.
She could Instacart or Uber Eats.
Right. Which, and now if you earn this reputation, like.
Yeah, but I doubt that like,
the name
these kind of companies will care. I mean, sure, she probably can't go back to DoorDash, but like, there's so many other options. So I feel literally nothing for her.
Right.
Except I hope she gets sued.
Yeah, it's wild. Super crazy. So, and she put the whole footage out there so people know. Yeah. But so also, I'm not going to share this whole thing just because it's ridiculous. Well, I say ridiculous. It's not like super exciting, but I just want everyone to know that it's happening, which is this.
Hey guys, Mr. Taylor here. Today what we're going to try and do is...
Yes, if you're wondering, is that Kevin James?
It does appear to be him.
It is him.
I think so.
He is now calling himself Matt Taylor and has an art teacher account.
I wonder if that's his real name and Kevin James was a actor name.
Bro, I don't know.
Also, why would you pick Matt Taylor?
Right.
People having trouble painting a sunset, and by the way, it's not my specialty either. But I'm going to try to make it as simple enough that my fourth grade class can actually follow along. So come with me. All right, guys.
Literally,
so I finished my sunset.
Not joking. Paints a whole picture here.
Yeah.
Like he's actually painting.
Yeah.
He goes through, paints this whole sunset. He's just talking about it, talking about art. He just still trucking. It is clearly him. Also, like over here, like that's lovely, Mr. Taylor in quotation marks. Like sure thing, Matt.
Sure.
Yeah, Mr. Taylor, the next Bob Ross. Like,
well, it's funny because he has a movie coming out.
Right. Well, and
in like 10 days or whatever.
It makes me wonder if this connects to something, but it's obviously him. Like that's him.
I mean, that looks a lot like him. I mean, maybe it's not. He is fully in a art class.
It's definitely him.
I don't know how he would have time to be like an art teacher on top of doing movies.
Right. I mean, it's literally like features.
Guess what?
It's in a class. There's kids.
I want to show you this. Reading gives your imagination wings, but you know what else does? My kids, my students, they are...
yeah, I have no idea. Everyone is once again just kind of flummoxed by this, to say the least.
But it's funny. I mean, look,
hey guys,
he only has 5 videos and they have millions of views each.
Right.
So obviously the internet's thinking it's...
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's no way it's not. And of course, as if you guys have been keeping up with this segment in the past, multiple things in the comments are like, oh my God, is he going full KJ Appa? If y'all don't remember, I shared a while back, KJ Appa, which is is the guy, he is now going by Mr. Fantasy, but it is the guy from Riverdale.
Right.
And he's doing this weird stuff.
Yes, just how my toddler walks.
Yes, exactly. And just so y'all know, I will be sharing his new song next week because his new song comes out tomorrow.
Oh,
so he's still been releasing music.
Yeah.
I still, the kids, like one of their favorite songs is his new song. So I don't know what the deal is with all these celebrities having alternate identities on TikTok, but it is a thing.
I mean, maybe they found a way to contractually get out of something.
Right.
Whether their contracts are like, hey, you can't use your acting name unless it's been approved in this way or that way, specific to like movies or whatever.
Right.
So maybe they're like, well, this is a contractual loophole.
Right.
We now have a
where I can do whatever I want,
where we can post what we want as long as it's not damaging our other brands.
Right. Yeah. I really have no idea. It's wild. These celebrities are up to weird stuff. I'm curious to see.
Yeah.
We'll keep track on Kevin James, let y'all know if and or what this is all about. Like I said, these are all things that I've not seen on Twitter or other places. Like people aren't talking about them. It's kind of just existing in this separate ecosystem.
Yeah.
So that also super weird. But I just want to show you guys this because it has 19.6 million likes and it is so weird.
Bro, you can't tell me this is AI.
No.
This is definitely AI.
You think it is?
Yeah, this is AI as can be.
I don't know. It's so weird. I don't even know what's happening.
I don't want to know what's happening. I don't like this. That's got to be AI. That makes me feel like certain AI videos make me feel really weird, and I see weird stuff all the time.
Right.
But this is one of those videos that like I don't know, something about it that's like, this is fake.
I've been searching and no one seems to have said if this is AI. Typically people spot it pretty quick. I don't know that this is fake because I've been seeing a lot of really weird shit coming out of other countries getting posted on TikTok. There is a chance that this is real. It's super weird.
That's super weird.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where I was like, I saw this, so you guys have to.
Yeah.
And it has like over 500,000 likes and it will probably end up on other social medias in like a month.
I mean, it probably already is.
Yeah.
It probably just hasn't gotten to your algorithm yet.
Maybe. Yeah. Everybody else seems to be way behind on the curve compared to TikTok quite often. But yeah, super weird. I have no idea what the deal is, but yeah, I hope it's AI because he was smacking the shit out of that kid's head. So, so strange. Now, this is AI.
You won't feel a thing.
Hopefully this fixes my stiff neck.
Here we go.
I can only imagine.
Great adjustment. Come back next week for round 2.
My neckers hurt.
You won't feel a thing.
Hopefully this fixes my stiff neck.
That's what I was hoping.
Like AI is like what stuff is getting so ridiculous.
I was hoping that her head would just pop off.
Right.
That's what my expectation. I don't know what y'all's expectation was. Mine was that her head was going to pop off like a freaking headless horseman situation.
Right. Well, and this one, so this I think this guy is, there's a bunch of these chiropractor videos now being shared. I mean, this whole account is nothing but this chiropractor working on old people, and it is absolutely absurd. Like just super ridiculous things.
Lower back issues, ma'am. Here we go.
Ouch, my neckers hurt. Woo!
And there's already a hole in the wall. Love it.
All right, this should fix the lower back
I
issue.
just like, and these weird AI things that people are doing is just like, what made you think of this? Like what like
so I have a lot of like, I have like a weird strand of like some of that on mine, but it's not AI. It's like actual like compilations of like back cracking and things like that. And so it's probably somebody who saw
was like it just inspired by those and was like, yeah, what if those went wrong and I can use Sora to make like just these absurd videos,
and I'll make these absurd ones that are hilarious, and people are gonna like come in thinking it's some serious move or a serious thing, and then watch a grandma get thrown across the room or suplexed.
Exactly.
Which, speaking of AI, and this is boomer related.
Okay.
Did you know they're making and publishing AI music?
Yes.
I was not aware of this, not truly, until I was driving home yesterday, and I heard a song come on my Spotify like playlist.
Right.
And I was like, fuck yeah, this song it slaps.
Right.
Like it was heavy, it was in your face.
Right.
And I was like, cool. And the lyrics were actually had like a little bit of depth to them. It wasn't just like some like seeming surface level. And I was like, cool. And I hadn't heard of the band.
Right.
I was like, cool, some new metalcore band. And I got home and I was looking them up and I was like, oh, they have like 3 songs.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it must be really new. And you know, it's common for new bands to release just random singles. And I was like, but the singer sounds like a singer from a different band. And I know he had left the band. And I was like, well, who is the singer then?
Right.
And go look it up. they're not on any Wikipedia. Their Instagram is all AI pictures and no descriptions. There's nothing about them on the internet.
No real
And then I
footprint.
was just like, their YouTube is all AI videos of their songs. And I was like, okay, this is screaming AI now. And then sure enough, on Reddit, somebody in the metalcore had been compiling a list of metalcore bands.
Right.
That are all AI generated. And I was like, son of
they should, which everywhere is starting to come up with like these specific like rubrics for how this is supposed to work. But essentially, like, I think Spotify definitely, first and foremost, every song that's AI should be required to put it on their site or on the Spotify page and say that it's AI. It should be very public and everybody should know what the deal is, because it is super problematic. And it's this weird thing where they're going to be able to like just barely rip off like other people's music and all kinds of weird shit. So like they're going to have to get ahead of this soon. And also Spotify should have a thing in their system where it's like, we don't recommend AI music.
Oh, 100%. And this was the funny part. I was listening to their AI generated lists.
Right.
So this was something where their AI was suggesting AI music.
Right.
But the problem I have was that it was good.
Right.
Like the second I heard it, I was like, this is really good. I listened to it like 3 times in a row and I was like, this is really good.
And then you're like,
and
it's
then
not
like,
real.
Oh, it's AI. Come on.
Yeah. It's
this is how we're really in trouble. We have videos like that Granny getting thrown through a wall.
Yeah.
Which looked super real.
And a lot of the boomers are falling for it and thinking it's all real. So that's another thing. Because Facebook and Instagram are nothing but just fake AI crap at this point. Like both platforms, especially Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, you're familiar with the dead internet.
Oh, yeah.
Theory, where it's most of the internet interactions are just bots.
Right.
And soon to be AI just doing. I think that's what we're going to see with the death of the internet.
Is AI is going to destroy it?
Yeah. Because honestly, if Facebook, Google, or any of these other platforms decided to start like tagging everything that's AI created. I mean, I know they're supposed to, like Instagram, like AI art's supposed to be tagged and things like that.
Right.
But it's not enough on enough platforms. I mean, maybe eventually it will be, but
yeah.
I don't know. It's a lot.
They're gonna have to start tagging it. It's not great, not good. But I mean, a lot of the AI stuff is super funny, though. I will say that. But as far as the music and whatever, like we should at least just know everything should have a tag, and it is what it is. But yeah. So all right. So this is the last one I'm gonna show because it's freaking hilarious. I think a lot of our audience will appreciate it. Very video game centric. We've showed stuff from these guys before, but they're just doing good work.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hell yeah, dude. Let's roll out. What are you doing?
I'm ready to go, dude. Let's go to the beach. You're going so slow.
Yeah, you're moving real slow right now.
Are you over encumbered? Gus, drop on.
I've got nothing on me. Are we gonna fast travel or what?
I mean, yeah, we would if Gus wasn't over encumbered.
Dude, I'm seriously not. I don't know what you got. No, right there.
Look,
Look, it says.
It says it, dude. We're gonna be late if you don't go right now.
What could possibly be so important?
I need this stuff. I can't lose shit from my inventory. I gotta drop it. Drop it.
Okay, fine.
Oh my God.
Xena.
So many great.
I was about to ask, who do you know that plays games is that person?
She says hi.
Yeah, she was summoned.
She was summoned by this video. She always is like over encumbered, and she'd be like, "Well, like we're playing Borderlands.
You never know what you'll need."
She's like, "I have like 40 SMGs." I'm like, "Why do you need 40 SMGs?"
I have 15 gray weapons that I wasn't ever going to use, but was going to sell. So yeah, this leans harder into it.
To restore health, they eat them.
They restore like 1 health.
Okay.
Bones?
Yeah, don't keep those. That's just nothing, dude.
Dude, that's just a brick. Why are you carrying bricks? That's
One
a brick.
brick?
That's so heavy.
Ridiculous.
Okay, fine. I got rid of it. Let's go.
Thank you.
Let's just leave. Oh my god.
Oh, damn it. You put all the stuff in my inventory.
Okay, you know what? BJ's over. We're not going.
Why? Okay, why? Okay, you guys ready to go?
They have another one. I'm pretty sure it's the same guys where their roommate's a mime.
Yeah.
And like everything he mimes is actually real. And there's one part of the video is that he like bricks up the wall, and they actually found a way. It's neat. They muffle the sound when the two dudes outside the room are talking.
Right.
And I was like, that's just a nice, like a fun little thing.
It's clever.
They think about that.
They do really clever stuff. I was going to look really quick. Their audio is going to come up. So yeah, they're called Cool Guys Online is their handle.
Yeah. There's definitely a handful of like up and coming like YouTube and Instagrammers and TikTokers. I found one the other day, and they were like, "We're trying to bring Jackass back." And so every day they're posting
Well, that's like Marty and Michael have been doing that for a while.
Yep. I follow those guys. So these are like these 5 British dudes.
Okay.
And they're just doing like every like jackassery kind of thing you could think of. Like, and they have like a bowl and they pick out whatever it's going to be for this challenge. Like one was like slamming each other in the face with like a fish.
Right.
And so they have like a big like salmon and they're like,
and that's the crazy thing that a lot of these people don't realize is that the Jackass guys were getting like mortally wounded all the time.
Oh yeah.
And so now these guys that are emulating them, which in Marty and Michael have actually been hanging out with like Steve-O and some of those guys. But like I saw a video the other day, Marty and Michael are like trying to bring back that whole Jackass vibe as well. And one of them just got put in the hospital and because like they got hit with a whip or something and it was like just totally jacked them up.
Yeah. Because the problem is for those guys. So the difference is like with Jackass, they would film it and make a movie or a show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they were making their money. So they were getting damaged because obviously like when what's the main guy's name? Got trampled by the bull. Johnny.
Oh, Johnny.
Johnny got trampled by the bull. Like that wasn't even that crazy of a stunt.
Right.
And he got super injured to the point where he doesn't fully interact anymore, like with Jackass 4.
Right.
And it's just like crazy. Like that's what these young guys, and that's a young man's game.
Oh, it is. You got to be
totally injuring yourself as a young man's game. When you're old, you're done. You're
right.
like,
Right.
I can't get out of bed today. Why? Because I stepped on a Lego.
Right.
But these young guys, they're like, hey, it's cool.
Right. We'll beat ourselves up. And which that was the funny thing is because when we were in high school was when Jackass was huge. I need to see if I can actually find the videos. If I can, and if I can bring the videos off of video format, we made Jackass style videos and I had them at one point in time of us doing stuff like jumping out of moving cars, jumping off of houses, doing just weird, stupid shit.
Yeah. And so like, I still think they should make a Jackass 5. And what they should do is like Johnny, Steve-O, and any of the older guys that don't want to participate fully should just be there to like guide these younger, because there's plenty of these young guys that want to do it.
Right.
And they have the heart to do it.
Right.
And if they would just bring them in and just usher in a new generation of Jackass kids,
mm-hmm.
I really hope that's what they do.
Oh, I hope so.
I hope Paramount's listening to our conversation right now.
Right.
Doing what I'm telling them because I want another one.
Because everyone loves the Jackass stuff. Yeah. And like TG said, everyone rode in the shopping cart. We did that one as well. You would easily get hurt flying out of a shopping cart. That was a whole thing.
Yeah, road rash is nasty.
Yeah, it's not fun. But yeah, so I think that's going to be it for our Cultures for Boomers segment. But there is a tiny bit of news that I want to touch on, kind of let y'all know what's happening in the entertainment sphere with news a little bit, and then we will keep on trucking. All right. So as far as news, it has actually been a serious dead zone for the past while. I think because Hollywood is dying.
A very quick and slow death.
Kind of at the same time, like it's been happening for a while, and now it feels like it's like in the death throes. Like
it's because just traditional Hollywood's dying, and they're being replaced with animation.
Right.
Because like animated things like Demon Slayer and Hunter.
Yeah, anime like specifically. That. Well, and non-American things is one of the big things because that's really what's getting displaced is the Hollywood component because they've lost touch with their audience and don't know what people want to see, and they're just showing people shit that they don't want to see.
Yeah. And then they wonder why nobody wants to trust and go see movies.
Right.
Because even when it's a good movie, people or they hear maybe it's not the best movie in the world, and this is like the last 5 years. People aren't gonna go rush.
Well, and they just don't trust Hollywood anymore. They're like, I might get a bait and switch, and it be something like One Battle After Another, where the entire film is a complete like political statement, and yet you advertised it like it was some kind of action movie, and so that's one of the many things that keeps happening. People are just burnt out and tired of it. But speaking of going to the movies, I did want to share this because I found it to be pretty freaking interesting. I am curious to see how this shakes out. I actually saw Valiant Renegade shared about it the other day on X and was talking about how he thinks that this is going to do really well. And the news is basically that Stranger Things is the 2 hours series finale is actually going to be in theaters. So day and date, like time, all that stuff. The finale for Stranger Things is actually going to be in theaters. Well, I think this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
And I'm guessing that they're going to do a staggered release with the episodes. I'm pretty sure that they have announced that that's how it's going to go. And let's
saw that they were going to release it the same day as the episode on
that episode, but I just mean like the rest of the episodes. I think that they're coming out in clusters. That's why it's like day and date. It's not like they're going to like put out all 10 and also do that in theaters. Like,
well, I'm pretty sure each one is over an hour long. I think they released the run times.
They
I
have.
think they were close to 2 hours an episode.
Yeah. I can't remember. They were going to be long. I was curious if it was going to list it all here, but what it says here is that it will premiere on Netflix in more than 350 movie theaters on December 31st. So right there, Christmas, starting at 5 p.m., 8 p.m. Eastern time. So at 8 Eastern on the 31st through January 1st, you will be able to see it in the theater. So I guess the whole thing is if you can get caught up to, the current episodes and everything, you're on time with it all, then you could plan on seeing the finale in theaters, which I honestly think is pretty cool. This has been one of the most popular television shows ever made. It's easily one of my favorite shows ever. I freaking love Stranger Things, all of it. I don't care what anybody says. I love it all. I know that people have qualms with some of the middle seasons. The last season was fantastic.
I've literally never had an issue with the show itself. My issue is more how long they take, or they've been holding on to it.
Right.
Because I don't think it's how long it takes. I think it's how long they've just been waiting to release it.
Well, it sounded like they got really behind with the filming, from what I gather. I
just don't understand.
I don't know if it's the writing process. Now, I will say, if you look at the rest of Hollywood, a lot of the writing's been trashed, all this stuff. But also, and like with Stranger Things in comparison, where the writing has been quality and people like it and whatever. Now, there's people that don't like Stranger Things, absolutely. Like, there's definitely a group that doesn't. But it's kind of one of those things where I am excited for it and think it's going to be fun. So let's see here.
I'm pretty sure. So this might be, and we have a news group in Criticless where somebody posted this today, and I was having a conversation about how this might be kind of what helps save the theaters.
Right.
Because Netflix is now, I don't know what else they've done, but K-pop Demon Hunter, they released it for a short window in theaters.
Mm-hmm.
Did really well. They released it for like 4 days, and it was like sold out today. So re-releasing it this weekend or next weekend for 3 days again. This is Netflix we're talking about, right? Like the streaming giant, not the theater giant.
Right.
So they're now doing that, and they're releasing the season finale.
Right.
They're getting smart.
Oh, yeah.
Because I know I won't see this in theaters, but when I was younger, and if I didn't have like at-home responsibilities, I would go see this in theater.
Especially like with us and having stubbed to A-list, as long as that movie's included in that, you'd be like, why the hell not? We can just go and check it out in theaters. Like, why not?
Who doesn't love a theater experience? I mean, okay. A lot of people don't like theater experiences. I love theater experiences. But most of them are really good. And stuff on the big screen is almost always better. And I could see this being better, especially if it's like a 2 hour end. Like, could you imagine? Well, Game of Thrones isn't a good example. But if Game of Thrones had ended better, could you imagine being in there, being like, this was awesome? Right.
Then
that's not what we got, but.
Right. And I did want to mention as well, we got a super from Last Call with Troy Pacelli. He said, like, share, subscribe, become a member, and support the channels you love, like at Criticless Cast. Thanks, brother. Really appreciate it. And Troy has a channel of his own as well, doing good stuff out there. And I think I'm actually supposed to pop on at some point before too long. I need to talk back with him about that. I've been all over the place lately, so it's been hard to keep up. Well, and also I think I'm going to be doing some stuff with Bob Lowe's Movies and his guys before long. So
those are cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. But yeah, and as JB was pointing out, it's like, that you've seen some apathy and stuff. I think it just depends on what side of the internet you're on. I think a lot of people are still excited. I think people are glad that it is wrapping up because the kids are getting too old. The seasons are way too gapped out. I still love it and I'm excited about it. I thought last season was great.
My theory is, and I mean, I hear what you're saying, JB, and I agree. I'm more on the apathy side. Like, come on, I've already lost interest. But to eat my own words, I think once this starts and that first episode happens,
right,
and we get back into the world,
right,
I think everybody is going to be excited and all back into it, especially if it's at least a tiny bit as good as that last season was.
Right.
That last season was really
it was fantastic. So, and this is the button. It's going to be them buttoning it up. I think a lot of people, whether they are apathetic about it or not, I think there will still be a lot of people, if they've seen up till now, if they hear even remotely decent buzz about it, they'll probably watch it anyways. If I was a betting man.
Yeah. So I think once that first episode hits, they're going to have to do a really good job of that first episode.
Yeah.
To make sure they draw everybody back in. But after that, I think it'll be game on.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. So I'm curious about this. I'm curious to see if people will go see this in theaters. One of the things that Valiant was pointing out and he was talking about it the other day, was basically that he thinks that this will actually eat into like the Avatar numbers and stuff, because it's like the younger crowd liking this.
Avatar.
Well, exactly. Well, it's the people, at least in the US, I think that he's right. Now, I think overseas, all the overseas people are freaking crazy about Avatar. I don't know what the deal is, but they love them some Avatar.
I guess it's what keeps it afloat.
Right. It's a weird thing because now I will say, and I don't know if you've seen this, so they did release an Avatar video game like last year.
Yeah.
I liked the first Avatar film. I'm not like crazy over the moon about it. Wasn't crazy about the second film.
Sure.
But I think that it's interesting. I liked how the world looked and all that stuff. So I was like, oh, I'll get the game. Yeah. But then the game was a bit of a mess because it's Ubisoft, and Ubisoft has gone way downhill.
Yep.
Like way downhill. And so, but I think in the next week or so, they are officially releasing the third person perspective version of the game as a free update.
Okay.
Which was everybody's beef, because they're like, you've got this gorgeous world, all this stuff, and I have to play it in first person. I can't even see my character. It's like Yeah,
I want to be able to see my character and everything.
Right.
Cool.
And when I'm flying on the creatures and whatever, and be able to at least switch back and forth. So if you did care about that game or were intrigued in it, maybe I'll keep you all updated if I end up hopping back in and trying it in third person, because I kind of want to try it.
Yeah.
So I know Jay, Drunk 3PO, is a big Avatar fan. He loves it. And like, I'm just like, you're one of the 5 people in America that still is passionate about it.
Avatar is such an interesting, I never saw it until like 10 years after the fact. And I've only seen the first movie, but like, it was such an interesting movie because it made so much money, but had no social impact.
Right.
Which is wild. And then they were like, hey, we're going to make 4 more movies and games and stuff well after the fact.
Right.
It's a bold choice, Cotton.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Disney paid like $1 gajillion for it. That was one of the main reasons that they bought Fox, was so they could own Avatar.
Another $1 gajillion to make each one of them.
Right. Exactly. So, which they've been making it back. The last one still, because of the overseas numbers, still made a truckload of money. So, like, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious about Avatar. I'm not anticipating the new one or excited about it. I'm just like, whatever. I'll see it, I guess. But like, I don't know. We'll see. I need to go back and watch the second one, because I was honestly bored in the second one and was just like, all right,
okay,
like I was like in and out of sleep. So yeah, but hey, like Bulldog said, Avatar is a screensaver. I totally get people that dig it and like it. So, and I mean, like with Gina Sanis, like I saw it in theaters as well. I'm pretty sure I saw it like at least 2 or 3 times, the first one in theaters, when it was a big deal.
Yeah.
But I think I'm there with TG, which is that like it probably should have just been a one and done. Like it was already like a Fern Gully ripoff, pretty much. But
yeah,
I mean, I don't know.
Action Fern Gully,
right?
Pseudo live action.
Right. Yeah, pseudo live action.
CGI action.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what shakes out with Avatar, but one more thing I did want to touch on, because I wasn't sure if you have seen this. Now, everybody else has probably seen some other folks over the past day talk about this around the web, but I am very curious. And Matt, have you heard about this? That there is going to be a Transformers and G.I. Joe team up show that is animated, and it's going to be adult animated show. Huh. This is going to be, I mean, I'm hearing people say like in the vein of Invincible. Like in that type of adult, like more violent, gritty type of a thing.
I did see that Jay like reposted or something like that
right
today on X, but I had not like done any research. I'm not a big G.I. Joe fan, and I'm
so like
Transformers fan. Like I like Transformers 1 a lot,
right?
And I've seen all the live action movies, but I never like grew up watching Transformers.
Right.
I had the toys because the toys were the coolest.
Of course.
I'm just like. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, it could be cool.
I think it could be phenomenal. And according to Jay, because he's the one that's in this Energon universe, like that's his deal. Like he loves this stuff. Yeah. And he's like, look, they could absolutely ruin this, make it terrible, whatever. Yeah. But like the world of G.I. Joe is super cool. We've not gotten G.I. Joe anything in ages.
The live action ones are baller.
They were not good.
Shows up, saves the world.
And so actually recently in one of the recent Transformers movies, I think possibly the last one, they teased a G.I. Joe and Transformers movie. Live action.
Honestly, it would make so much sense as a live action movie. To me, as an adult animated cartoon, it just doesn't really float my boat.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm just not the target audience for this. Maybe I'll watch it and I'll be like, I'm now a target audience. I don't know.
Right.
But
well, I mean, supposedly these Energon Universe books are phenomenal, these comics, and Jay loves them. They've sold like over, right here on this G&G article, they say it's sold over 7 million comics in the past 2 years. Like super popular. The other thing about this, so it's going to be tied into this Energon universe that they've been building in the comics. And then basically from what I gather is that some of the Walking Dead team, I guess, is going to be attached to this show.
Some zombies from Walking Dead are going to be in.
That would be crazy.
Actually, Transformers and G.I. Joe and zombies.
No, I do not think that is the case at all. But yeah, apparently Robert Kirkman is kind of connected to this, who also did Invincible, which is why people are saying this is more Invincible. And the thing is that over the years with both of these franchises, we've only got the kid-friendly stuff, and we know that they do dabble in more adult stuff. So as an adult animated show, if they do this right, this could potentially be like one of the coolest things to come out.
Yeah, good. I'm curious to see how it's going to work, because I mean, obviously the Transformers work side by side with military personnel and things like that in the movies. So
right.
It's not, to me, it's almost like a waste for G.I. Joe to be involved, because what makes them special?
It's been connected to this Energon universe. This is what they've been building in the comics. That's why they tie in somehow with this whole universe, and obviously connected brands as well with like the whole Hasbro stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
But it says that this guy Joe Henderson's going to be writing it, and he was also wrote for the show Lucifer. So I don't know, but that show got fairly decent praise. I think people liked it fairly well. I'm curious about this. I hope it's really cool. I think it's intriguing news. Yeah. This is one of those things, if it's coming out of modern Hollywood, like, you could toss a coin. It could be great or it could be absolutely terrible.
So who's making it? Is it Paramount, I guess?
So I had wondered that too, and I don't know that
who
it's
owns G.I. I mean, Hasbro, obviously.
Right.
But who's actually like the one,
the studio, which in a lot of the times it will be like one of these studios like that makes it where like Prime Video is who's doing Invincible. So I don't know if because of that relationship, lots of times what will happen is like for example, a studio like Sony will make it and then they will sell it to Paramount or whoever else. But like you said, with Transformers and G.I. Joe and all this stuff, Paramount I think owns this stuff. So I would not be surprised if it ends up on there. But at the same time, we've seen Paramount even create stuff like this or some of these companies and then still sell it to another network, which is so strange.
Right.
When they have their own.
It's a show, right, that they're doing?
Yes. This is going to be an animated show.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things where they're going to want to like, this could be something that, like, saves Paramount, unlike Halo did. So it'd be weird if they would want to sell it. I just keep saying Paramount because I'm fairly certain Paramount owns the rights to
to all this stuff,
the Transformers.
And I was looking, as far as I've seen in the G&G article, it sounds like they doesn't fully have like a locked in network. Okay. This is just happening. So I don't know. I'm excited about it. I hope it's great, and we'll see what shakes out with it. And also we got a super here from Margaret Riggle, member for 1 month. Love you, critics. Keep them coming. Our critiques, but thank you. I'd made a Beardian slip. But yeah, love your critiques. Keep them coming. But thanks a whole bunch, Margaret Riggle. We appreciate you popping in here. And one thing I did want to do for this last little bit before we dig into the movie is we said that we were gonna our water cooler segment. We're kind of bringing that back, but I am going to talk about some water cooler adjacent stuff, which is really just me talking about what Matt and I are going to do when we leave this show. So we will talk about that in just a second. All right. So what I wanted to talk about was the fact that Matt and I are actually leaving this show. Not right now, of course. We're just see you guys. We're out of here. No. So after the show, Matt and I are actually planning on going to see Shelby Oaks. I had not told anybody that I was planning on going to see this. I just was not completely decided. This weekend was a little dry as far as movie releases go. Yeah. All that we were really having was there is a Bruce Springsteen movie coming out, but like, don't care.
I don't like biopics personally. Like even my favorite band like Queen, all that stuff. Like maybe even Linkin Park did one. I'd go and watch the biopic. Right. But it's like I haven't seen the Elvis one, Bob Dylan, like any of Bruce Springsteen. I'm definitely not seeing that one. Like, and most of these people, I'm never gonna go see their biopics. I just don't care.
Right. Yeah, that's where I sit. Typically biopics are terrible. But yeah, the cover photo obviously it's super weird, kind of creepy. So what it says here is the overview is a woman's obsessive search for her missing sister lands her in a terrifying mystery at the hands of an unknown evil. So this is a horror movie. That's part of why I wanted to do it here at Christmas, or not Christmas, Halloween. Here at Christmas.
Christmas time.
That's right. No, but here at Halloween. So, but the big thing here is that this is the debut film from none other than Chris Stuckman. So there's that. Now, the part of why I wanted to bring this up, a lot of you are familiar with Chris Stuckman. There is a lot of controversy, I guess, surrounding Chris, which is that Chris was a YouTube critic for a long time. That is how he became known. He did movie criticism, and then basically just got roasted into oblivion because everyone started noticing that his videos were slowly changing. And what meaning by changing, what I mean is that he stopped disliking movies. And then basically he let out that he was planning on getting into the industry and he wanted to make movies now instead of critique them. And he felt guilty critiquing the movies. So he was seeing all sorts of movies, but the only ones that he would talk about were the ones that he enjoyed. So with that being the case, when you make a career off of criticism, which and this is a line that people like also Critical Drinker are going to have to tiptoe around because he writes books and he recently put out something too. A lot of these guys are going to really struggle when they start to create things and then decide whether or not they're going to keep critiquing or whether they're just going to make films. Personally, what Stuckman should have done, my personal opinion, would have been to be like, hey, I'm changing directions for this channel. I'm not doing movie criticism anymore. I'm doing film analysis or something. Like I'm not like critiquing things. I'm only talking like, and just leave it at that. Don't say I'm not talking about things I don't like. Just totally bypass all of that. But basically, as JJ said, he abandoned his critical integrity. And that's the thing is that when you establish this persona as being a critic, and then you do something like that, people are just not going to be apt to trust you.
Yeah, because I mean, even on a most basic level,
right?
If I'm seeing a video and I know all you're gonna do is like talk about how you like the video, that like reduces my want to even watch the video.
You're like, okay, you liked it.
Okay, you liked it.
Great.
Or you're not willing to talk badly about it. That's also more how I perceive it too. Like, oh, you just don't want to talk bad about it. You may have hated this movie, but you're not gonna talk bad about it because you're trying to grease those Hollywood wheels.
Right. And that is the thing that
your dick that way.
Right. Well, and that's the thing that I've noticed in this space as well is that you will there is a certain group of people, not really anybody in like this direct community, but in other parts of the film criticism like community where you can tell you're like, these people are pulling their punches. Like they are doing it because they know that they don't want to get on the bad side of this studio or this director or this person that they're hoping that they can rub shoulders with.
Right.
And it's like, you can't be a critic. Like you can't be someone in that space and not do that. So, I mean, now, as we've said, we're definitely not critics. I mean, I literally go on shows and get called a dumbass on like a daily basis at this point. So, because I am not a critic and it is about all of y'all's opinion in the chat. And that's the whole thing. But that's also why I wanted to review and talk about Shelby Oaks and why I wanted us to see it is for the simple fact that I feel like there are going to be a lot of people, because this is Chris, a lot of the people in this space, in YouTube, whatever, know him. They're going to be pulling their punches with this movie. I hope that it is phenomenal. I hope the movie is great. I hope it blows us away. But if it's not good, I'm not scared to say, hey, I didn't dig this.
Right. And I mean, nobody should be pulling punches. There shouldn't be any ass kissing.
Right.
Everyone should just say what they think about stuff.
Right. Right. So, yeah, I mean, we're going to give our pros and cons on it, what we like, what we don't, and let y'all know if this is good and worth checking out. There is 2 votes already, 2 reviews on Criticless right now. I don't want to see them because I have heard nothing about this.
Oh, okay.
And I really don't even, I've already gotten to where I know so many of you guys and our users that I will instantly see a username and a review and like associate it with, okay, this person likes this kind of thing. Like that's probably, so like, I've already gotten in that point. So it's like with us going tonight, especially, I'm like, hey, I'd rather just fully go in blind because I really don't know much about what this is about. I have heard that the movie looks phenomenal, that it's very well filmed and on a fairly small budget.
Part of a trailer. I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks like it could be really good. But then again, trailers can be so misleading.
Right.
No.
They can.
I have no expectations.
Right. And that's the thing is people are going, there will be plenty of people that will be harsh on this. And that's the other thing where I want to be on the other side of it too, because I literally have no real connection to Stuckman. Like, I did not follow him. I did not watch his videos. I did not keep up with what he does because I'm not in that. Like, it's why I created Criticless. I'd rather look at audience scores, rather hear what regular folks think. I'm just not deep into that sphere. Now I am a lot more, and I know a lot of these people, but back then I did not. So I am curious to see how this is, which Piccolo said he saw a short film, didn't need to see anything he does again. So I'm guessing that the short film wasn't good. That is the other thing, is that this movie initially was actually I think crowdfunded to some degree, or maybe it was the short. I'm not sure, but there was something that Chris did that was crowdfunded. Yeah. But I do know that one of this, like, there's a big studio that I think Neon is who's picking this movie and putting it out. So
which makes sense.
Right.
Neon likes to do
indie
smaller
stuff,
things that they can get their hands on.
Right. So but and also the other big thing here that has me intrigued about this is that Mike Flanagan is attached and helped him and produced it with him,
which is wild because that's a pretty big name. I mean, I know
huge
like
name.
Stuckman was like one of the biggest YouTube reviewers.
Right.
It was like him and Critical Drinker in my mind when I was like researching Criticless and like trying to get like brand deals or whatever. Like those were like the two like that I saw that had like the biggest reviews, like the most swing in
the space,
in YouTube,
in the critic space. So it is interesting that Mike Flanagan, he got on Mike's radar, and if you don't know, he's the guy who did Midnight Mass and The Midnight Club, Haunting at Hill House, Haunting on Bly Manor, and a lot of other things like Dr. Sleep. And so this guy has become one of the big Hollywood horror guys, and he is the man that is going to be making the Dark Tower TV show. And if he fucks up this show, I will be so angry. He better do Dark Tower right. The only thing that keeps aggravating me about it is he keeps taking other freaking projects instead of being worried about the Dark Tower. The second that he took Dark Tower, he should have never done anything else.
That should have been it. That should have been his next 5 years.
Exactly. More than 5 years. The rest of his life. The rest of your life better be Dark Tower, Mike Flanagan, or I'm going to be furious. You better go full Peter Jackson and because that's the thing is whoever makes the Dark Tower literally has to go full Peter Jackson. Like, this is the thing that you do, is you make these.
The problem is they're doing it as a show.
Oh, I
feel like that you don't make nearly as much money. Like Peter Jackson has made so much money off Lord of the Rings and the Hobbits because he put his all into it. Like I still like see like, interviews and stuff with like the whole cast, and they're constantly talking about like the soul that everybody put into those movies.
Right.
And you can feel it. They're classics. Like they're the best things out there.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, there is a way that they could have done Dark Tower with movies and stuff, but it is so deep. It's kind of one of those things like with Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones could have never been done in a handful of movies. It's kind of the same thing with Dark Tower. Like there's just so much material. Yeah. Like compared to the Lord of the Rings books, there's, 3 main books and then the Hobbit book. But like
those 4 books that they made 6 movies off of.
Exactly. Where it's like, and we're talking about 7 books for the Dark Tower, and the last one is bigger than all of the Lord of the Rings books, like combined. Like, so it's just, I don't know. We'll see. I'm curious. I like Mike Flanagan. Hopefully him having his fingers in this movie helps it out. We'll let y'all know. I will be dropping a review for Shelby Oaks. I think I'll probably have a written review on G&G. If you guys didn't know, I am going to be doing some written reviews on Geeks and Gamers.
Becoming a critic, guys.
I know. What is happening? It's like I'm selling out. No, well, I was asked to do that, but I did write a review and an article for G&G. But yeah, it was up here. I don't know. Yeah, my review's right here. So I did a review for Good Omens and basically put the same, text or whatever in my Criticless review. So, but yeah, so I'll probably be dropping a review for them and then dropping a video and all that stuff on the channel. Nice. So make sure to check that out because those do tend to be a little different. I know. I hear you, Mars Monkey. It's selling out, but yeah. So we'll see. Actually, honestly, my hope is, and y'all can everybody be in contact. We want a lot of this to be a community movement. I want more people to be invested in all of this as well with like the Criticless community, and possibly even have some other people, if you feel like you are well written and could potentially write an article style review, like reach out to me because I am curious. We're talking about having other people do articles on behalf of Criticless that could potentially be featured on G&G, that kind of thing. So let me know because I honestly would prefer to not be kind of the mouthpiece for this. I would rather it be focused on you guys. And actually another thing that we want to do is we want to have a specific type of article that is featured on G&G that is like a Criticless consensus, similar to the critic consensus that is on Rotten Tomatoes, but do an article like that and basically sum up like, oh, okay, Fantastic Four came out this weekend, and this is what the Criticless audience consensus is on it, and an article that is basically, weighing it out in that kind of way. So I know I've talked to the bookstore Thor, who's been writing stuff for the community about some of this stuff and whatever. So I am curious to see where all this goes. Geeks and Gamers is doing some really cool stuff. They're really boosting their website and digging in on that. And I definitely appreciate and respect what they're doing for sure. And I do see that the man slipped in here. We haven't seen him in a bit. Mike Dixie Wrecked is here, and he says, this Halloween I'm going as Jaws holding a bucket of Blaine parts. And
good.
You know what? That might be the world's best Halloween costume, dude. I really I love it. It's pretty awesome. And I respect it. I deeply respect it.
Good. It's good.
Yeah. So, Jaws has got it out for me, but I was only. Hey, I keep trying to tell Jaws, I keep trying to tell all of his cult-like fanatics that this was really about anti-shark propaganda. I am trying to stop the dissemination of this negative stereotype of the shark. They are gentle, sweet creatures, and people need to quit putting out propagandistic films like Jaws and The Meg, trying to make people scared of sharks.
Yeah, Meg 2 is a fantastic movie, okay, people? Megalodons, we don't even be scared of them. They're amazing.
Yeah, right. And Genius, I do know that you were a writer, and I actually had you in mind and was thinking about you being in here. So Genius, says a Fiverr says, I'm a writer, put me in, coach. And I hear you, dude. Hit me up and we will talk, and I will look at what you got going on, and maybe we can work something out and see if we can get you get some people seeing get more people seeing what you're writing. So yeah, let me know. We will chat. And I was trying to think. Just message support at criticless.com. Support at criticless.com. And send me an email and we'll chat, and let me get your email address and all that stuff, and we'll talk about it. So anyways, that is all right. And I see my wife is joining in on this dog pile.
Burn.
Just a mullet and a silver chain in a bucket. That's pretty messed up and also very accurate. But some of my mullet is gone. I got rid of a little bit of it today. So, I saw that now that Beardo and Jeremy are both trying to mullet behind me. I don't know what
it's time to move on to a new.
I think I'm going to shave
mohawk or something.
I think I'm going to shave my head and get a goatee. That's clearly that's the new vibe. Buzzed head, goatee is where I'm going to have to go with this whole thing. So. The wife would be so mad. She'd be so mad.
Not saying anything.
So anyways, guys, I think that's going to be it for this portion of talking about news and all this stuff, because what you guys really came here for, what you wanted to hear us talk about, is a movie that all of you guys recommended, and I am also very excited to talk about. So that very movie that all of you voted on is the notorious, infamous, I don't even know where this movie ranks, in all honesty, as far as the horror sphere. I know that there are some horror folks that are not fans of this movie, like JB in the chat. I think he was not a fan of this movie, but a lot of y'all wanted us to talk about it. It came out back in 2002. It's sitting at a brisk hour and a half, so it's not too long.
Yeah.
And essentially, Ghost Ship just follows a group of salvagers, and they stumble across a ghost ship out in the open sea, basically. And they were referred to this ghost ship by someone that encountered them in a bar, and so they go to investigate, hopefully being able to salvage the ship, bring it in, and they find out that it is actually a legendary missing ship that I believe was technically a French ship, correct?
Italian.
Italian. Okay, so not as bad as,
What do you mean not as bad?
I mean, it's close. Like, it's Italians, but like we're talking French, Italians, like, so not quite as bad. But yeah, so this is an Italian ship, but it was full of a lot of Europeans. It went missing back in the day, and so they go to investigate. Now, many people, I found it interesting, they really didn't dig into this, but the actual term ghost ship, I don't remember them touching on it much in the movie, but it's a real thing that ships will be considered ghost ships. They will float empty around the sea.
Yeah, they mentioned it when he was telling like the story of
that specific
one of
ship.
the other ships that was like a ghost ship.
Mm-hmm.
But they never really like said I guess they might have said it right then and been like, "This is a ghost ship."
Right. But they don't really dig into it. But that is the thing, is it's a very real thing that happens in the real world. Now, it's also the perfect name for a horror movie about a haunted ship.
Right. I mean, obviously.
Right. It's the best possible name. But so that's essentially, in a nutshell, what this film is about. Now, the movie is directed by Steve Beck. Now, we talked about this last week, actually, but Steve Beck actually only put out 2 movies that we plan on reviewing both of. Being Ghost Ship and 13 Ghosts.
Right, one after
another, and then he threw down a smoke bomb and was never seen again.
What a move.
Yeah, exactly. So, but the thing is that this movie really, it's not necessarily that it's like packed with tons of recognizable faces. Now, Gabriel Bryan, this dude's been around forever. He's kind of the lead. I couldn't place what I know him from. He's the older gentleman in the movie.
Super recognizable though. He's
right.
I don't know what I've seen him in either, but
he's been in tons of stuff over the years.
Like, I know that guy.
Yeah, that's that guy. Like that's the thing. This movie kind of has like those people that you've seen in things.
Except for one.
Actually, technically 2, which I'll talk about in a minute. But yeah, one big one. But yeah, so Gabriel, the interesting thing was too, he is actually an Irish actor, and I kept hearing his accent seep in, and I was like, is he supposed to be Irish or is he American? Like,
he could be Irish American all day.
Right, he could be. Yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he was just an Irish American. But yeah, I noticed his accent seeping through. But Gabriel Bryan is kind of the lead, but also it stars another one of those guys which I mentioned, which was actually one of the leads from, if I'm not mistaken, it's Dexter from back in the day. The guy's name is Desmond Harrington. Actually, I should just go ahead and show you guys Criticless photos so that y'all know who the heck I'm talking about. Let's see here. So Desmond Harrington, once I saw him, I was like, dude, that's the guy from Dexter. So this guy's been around for a while, and he played kind of a shady dude on Dexter, and I was like, oh, I hadn't seen him in a while, and I did not remember that he was in this movie.
Didn't recognize him.
Right. And then also this Isaiah Washington guy. This guy's been around a while.
Yep. Another dude I've seen.
Right.
Couldn't tell you what he was in.
I'm telling you, the movie is full of those people from those things.
Yep. It all came together.
Except for the man, the myth, the legend.
It's a boy.
Yeah. I mean, Karl Urban, everybody loves him. And in this movie, he's a vibe, to say the least.
Yeah. I miss, because this is when he was actually 30.
Yeah.
We were like, because Zeno was like, when the first time we saw him on screen, back in his head, Zeno's like, it's Karl Urban.
Right.
Turns around, I was like, it's Karl Urban.
He's so greasy in this movie. He's so greasy, and I love that people are like, maybe when you're rich, you can buy yourself a shower.
Right. Like, we're gonna buy you a bath.
Right.
Stink.
Right. But so this does star Karl Urban. The other big celebrity is I say big celebrity. Other person that you might recognize is Emily Browning, who was the little girl in this. Yep. Who many people know from Sucker Punch.
Yep.
And which was a terrible movie, but she was pretty hot in Sucker Punch. I remember that being the case. But she is around our age now, but was in this movie, was like 13, 14 years old.
Yeah.
So she can be hard to recognize, but
I didn't recognize her.
You didn't?
Zeno recognized her.
Okay.
And then Zeno was the one who connected the dots for me. She was like, oh, she was in Sucker Punch.
Right.
And I was like, oh, yeah.
Because she does have a very recognizable face.
Right.
But yeah,
even when she was young, yeah. I mean,
right.
She still looks the same.
Right. But she was pretty young in this movie. And so, yeah, you might recognize her as well. But we've kind of gone through the main points of what this is.
Mm-hmm.
And so you guys have been dropping your reviews. We've got 21 reviews in here right now, so we've had quite a few come through. Also, if you take a look on the screen, I do want to bring this up just so everyone can see what I was moaning about earlier, which is if you look, it says right here AMC Plus, but if you look down below, it literally says Amazon and then AMC Plus Roku. So if you pay for Amazon,
but then the next one says AMC. Look, the third one.
That's AMC, but it's not AMC Plus. It's just proper AMC. And when I went and looked at that one, it was like, it literally said this will be available Saturday or Sunday when it is like streaming on the AMC TV channel.
Yeah.
So this stuff has gotten so convoluted. I'm pissed as shit. Like last night I was aggravated. I'm like, I pay for AMC Plus, you pieces of shit, and you're only letting me watch it if I had subbed through Prime or freaking Roku. Lame. But anyways, me beating this dead horse again. I had to bring it up. It's just so aggravating.
Really letting them know how you feel.
Listen, I'm just warning everybody because it's going to happen to you. There's going to be something you're subscribed to, and then it's going to say only on Amazon of this exact service that you already pay for, which is just so lame. So anyways, but yes, so Ghost Ship, you guys have been dropping your reviews for it, and currently on Criticless, it is sitting at a 67%, which is pretty good. Not too bad.
Yeah, Friends with Benefits is 72.
Yeah. Yep, my Friends with Benefits is a 72. If you have not added people to your Friends with Benefits list, I highly recommend it if you were using Criticless, or if you're new to Criticless. This is one of our like flagship features that we really need to kind of hammer in more so that people know how it works, but you do have to add them. It's not just your friends. So once you set someone as a Friends with Benefits person, you do it from your account. You can set a user, or just go to a person's account, click on add to Friends with Benefits. And so that's how you do it. But typically just add people that you like, their opinions, that you tend to agree with to some degree, and it will average their scores and keep their reviews in one single easy to access area. So two of the people that are on my FWB list are in here. There are probably more of you guys that I need to add now, because it's been a while since I've added people to my FWB list. And I know a lot of you guys that are now starting to watch the show and stuff.
People have to win me over.
Yeah.
Before I add them to my FWB.
Right.
I have to wait and have to agree with you like on multiple movies.
Right.
Before I'm like, okay.
You have to earn your benefit here.
I now believe that we have the same thought process when it comes to movies to get into my FWB.
Right. Like JB Spooky Reviews. He hates all these horror movies we like. So, I mean, I don't know, man.
Sorry, bro.
You know, he's real.
Not going to cut my FWB.
Real spicy out here, you know. But also, I mean, we're at a point, you guys need to chill out. I have already gotten like multiple reports from my reporting system about people reporting me for my reviews. So, you know, that is also happening. But yeah, so yeah, it does not average in your own score into your FWBs. It's only your friends. That is one of those where I wanted to kind of keep those separate and not skew that number, so that you can just look at your personal score and that score, and yours not play really any weight in that. So definitely make sure to add people as your Friends with Benefits. So, no, well, yes, you can technically report people's reviews. I don't know if it was actually people reporting my reviews versus we have a report a problem within the platform thing for if you're having issues, and people's issue was me. So yeah. Thanks for the troll, guys. I love it. But yeah, so anyways, going ahead and digging into ours, we'll let you know our thoughts, then we'll kind of piggyback around off of some of y'all's reviews, and it will help drive some of this this conversation as well, just kind of knowing y'all's thoughts on where everybody sits with this movie. Now, looking at the score, being in the rad territory is pretty good, and that's a 67%. We're still not like bottomed out on rad either. We're getting closer-ish to the middle. Bad. Right. So
it's probably that low because of JB over there giving me heinous.
I know. So Matt, why don't you go ahead and kick this off, and let's hear what your thoughts are on this movie. Let us know if you've seen it before, how many times, all that kind of stuff.
So funny enough, I didn't like horror movies until I was in high school. And I remember I went over to my best friend's house when I was in middle school. We were 13, I think. And his parents had gone to Blockbuster and rented us this.
Right.
And like we put it on, and I didn't do horror movies at all. Like I was still like very like, no, I want to watch anything scary.
Right.
And it's funny enough, this and 13 Ghosts, same story. And we started watching it, and we got like 15 minutes in, and I was like, I don't want to watch this.
I'm terrified.
Like, I'm done. This scares me as a 13-year-old. And I was like, I'm going to go play video games in your room. You guys keep watching. I was over there every weekend, so it wasn't like
it wasn't a big deal.
One-off thing. I was just like, I'm just going to go like play PlayStation or something. You guys can watch it if you wanted to. And like, we ended up just doing something else. And then I didn't watch it again until, I don't know, like 6 years ago.
Right.
Zena and I were just scrolling. We were watching a ton of horror movies back then.
Yeah, I remember y'all went through phases where you watched a bunch of horror movies.
Yeah, especially pre-having a kid. Like, we were just like super into like any horror movie we could find, especially anything we were like had any kind of like connection to.
Right.
And I was like, oh, I want to watch this. I hadn't seen it since I was like 13. Like, and so we sat down and watched it then. And then this is my first rewatching since.
Okay. So you really only second watch outside.
Yeah, and I couldn't really remember the full story. I remember the like opening scene.
Right. Which is a pretty legendary opening scene for sure.
Yeah, amongst most horror movies, that is pretty legendary in my mind.
Yeah. Especially when you see it when you're young, which is, we had a similar story, but I saw it very young in like middle school too.
Yeah.
And so it was one of those things you see it and you're just like, holy shit. Because this movie opens wild.
Yeah, and especially when you're 13, if you haven't seen anything like gory and you see like everybody getting cut in half and his head falling off and stuff like that is like primo, like traumatizing effect right there. Like, you can get cut in half by a wire, apparently.
Right.
So, anyway,
it's a very sorry to interrupt. It is a very, I saw it and I was like, this is some Final Destination shit right here.
Oh yeah,
which, and this was in the Final Destination era also, so it tracks. They were trying to traumatize us and like unlock fears in all of us, and this movie definitely does that in the opening scene.
Yeah, which is funny, just a little anecdote tool thing. I used to work on ships, and they were always like, I wasn't married, I wasn't engaged or anything like that, so I didn't have any jewelry on.
Right.
But like, I was talking to the other deckhands, and they were like, yeah, whatever you do, don't buy titanium rings if you work on a boat. They were like, titanium rings don't break.
Yep. They'll rip your finger off.
Lose a finger or have your finger completely degloved.
Yep.
If
your whole hand degloved, quite often it will like it can pull a bunch of skin off. Because I dealt with the same thing working in the shop.
Yeah.
Because it was the same thing where you'd be working on working in an engine or have your hands inside a car, and they're like, hey, I could get caught, and all of a sudden your whole finger's gone. So
yeah, and so like the guys were like, if you ever wear jewelry, I don't know why they were telling me this. Wasn't wearing jewelry back then,
right?
Because I wasn't wearing like class rings or anything like that. But anyways, I was thinking about that while I was watching this scene.
Right.
But anyways, so my thoughts to this movie. It's a rad. I think this movie is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I like being up on the ocean.
Right.
And like it takes me back to like working on ships and stuff.
Yeah.
Which was cool. And I worked in Alaska in that general area. So that was cool. Just kind of seeing seeing the water again is so cool.
Right. Well, and we talk about all the time, like personally, where we both love like water type movies, whether it be sea creatures, anything like that, and how Hollywood doesn't do enough like on the water, like cool sci-fi horror.
Yeah.
Like,
honestly, I need to go watch Battleship. Speaking of sci-fi on the water,
that is a ridiculous movie.
Seen that, and apparently it's like right on my alley.
It's wild,
ridiculous, wild ocean.
You're the exact audience that the Battleship movie was going for.
The problem was they made it based off the game, and I remember when it came out, I was like, I don't want to watch this.
But it really wasn't about the game.
I know,
because the game didn't have aliens.
Hey, but if they didn't call it that, if they called it something else, like Alien versus Battleship, I would have been like, okay,
right, sounds cool.
But anyways,
yeah.
I like this movie. It's rad. I think it's upper rad for me.
Okay.
Because I was
nice.
like, I really dug it, even upon this re-reviewing and like knowing what happened. This is a gory movie. I don't know if I would call it quite a horror movie, which maybe is why JB doesn't like it. I'd be curious what Chris would have thought, except he's probably sleeping right now.
He would have an entire argument about. He would have a big argument with us about how this movie is not a horror movie. And he would probably even, because what is it? He says like spooky movies.
Scary movie, but not a horror movie.
Right. Or even this, he might not. I don't even know if he'll call it scary. I would be interested to see. He'll probably never drop his review because he's a slack ass. But yeah, I'm curious to see. I have a guess as far as where he would put this.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing he would probably be in like the low decent range.
Yeah.
If I were to guess. But
yeah. Yeah. So anyways, I don't know. This is a fun movie. It's definitely kind of one of those movies where I'd be like, yeah, I'd watch it again because I just enjoy the setting, and I thought the acting was good. I like the cast. I like how they play off each other. The only reason there's a couple of reasons why it's not a most excellent for me. We can kind of get into those.
Okay.
After your thoughts.
Right. Yeah. So I'm still trying to kind of decide where to put my score for this. I've been doing, when we do these shows, I've been trying to do a thing where I'll actually like write the review beforehand so that I can kind of show it when we drop it on here. But I think I'm going to be in like the lowest of rad territory.
Okay.
Like probably like maybe even a 60, like right there on the line. I have some issues with it, but I respect it.
Yeah.
Like there are things, especially for the time that this came out, like there are absolutely some story issues that I have. We can get into, like you said, we can get into some more of the like, fine-tuned issues that we have with the movie. But as far as what I like about it, some of the horror moments are memorable. Primarily the opening scene. The opening scene of this movie is super memorable. It's so cool.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the coolest things.
Yeah.
Like even with like like you're bringing up Final Destinations. This is probably cooler than all of those, like any of those.
Yeah.
It was just so, I don't know if it's how realistic it would be.
Right.
But nonetheless, so cool.
Yeah, it's just a wild moment. And also we didn't even really talk about, not only is it a cool moment, this film opens kind of jarring because it opens like it's in whatever time period the boat was from, like the 50s or whatever.
It was like, did you pick the wrong movie from the start? And I was like, no, I'm pretty sure this is how it starts.
This is it. And it starts with like pink, calligraphized like font, and it's like ghost ship, and it's like playing all this like happy music, and they're on this ship dancing, and there's a sexy lady singing and all this stuff, and I'm like, I do not remember this at all. Yep. And it's a really creative, cool opening for the film. And then you basically watch everybody get chopped in half and chopped to pieces from this wire,
and they're like holding their guts as they're like
falling.
I mean, some of them were dumb. Like one was like a guy was like blinking still when his head was cut in half or something. I was like, some of these are dumb.
It was for shock factor. Right. Like they went for shock factor, not realism, where there was like a point when one of the limbs was on the ground and it was like flopping around like a fish.
That's what I was thinking about. Yeah. Like hands don't flop around like fish. Like it probably once it's cut, like I don't think your hand's going to move anymore.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And actually, as Bulldog said, it is kind of reminiscent of Resident Evil, and actually there are some moments and some things. We have been doing a lot of films from this time period, and you can absolutely spot the 2000s movies. Like
and it's what makes them so special.
It is.
They're special,
right? And now, granted, there is some nostalgia connected to that comment. Like us, like they are special to us because that was our time period. We remember it. We know why it has that vibe. Like everything was about like this kind of like metal adjacent music, and like talking about this movie, Resident Evil, all these movies always did it. Like there's Mudvayne.
Back when movies knew good music.
Right. Yeah, exactly. I guess. Yeah, because there are just some really recognizable things about this. Now, it didn't do the thing that we've seen in a lot of the films from this 2000s period, like we talked about with Man on Fire and some of the others, where it's this like jarring hard cuts and stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad. I think 13 Ghosts does do that. I think
it very well might, because I remember 13 Ghosts being kind of metal, as far as a movie goes. So we'll see soon enough.
We'll tell you next week.
Yeah, but yeah. So with that being the case, it's a very 2000s movie. I can also see why people wouldn't be as hot on it, but like I said, I just kind of respect this movie. It has a style to it. There's some creativity with the storytelling, even if some of it's messy. But the biggest thing for me is there's a lot of like very detailed set pieces, like a lot of areas.
Hard with the set,
right? Like you're in the bowels of the ship. You're in just all these different components and areas. You're in different rooms of the ship. You're above board on the top of the ship. You're also in their separate the salvager ship there, and a lot of it, there was just a lot of detail put into that. And then also, honestly, when the kills happen, there's a lot of detail put into some of the kills. Like for example, Karl Urban and what happens to him. So there's some creativity to this, but it's got its problems, and but it feels kind of, and I don't know if you got this vibe, but it kind of, there's something about it that kind of felt like a passion project to me. Like it's a scrappy movie, but like like with how the story was told and whatever, it felt like there wasn't attention to detail, even if there were the mistakes that it had.
I mean, I agree with you, and I think that's because it's things like the set and it all. I'm assuming they really created this whole ship,
right?
Plus the rooms, their sets, because it looked, except for some CGI like wide shots.
That's what I was gonna say. There was not a lot of. I was surprised at the lack of CGI, and then when the CGI happens, most of it wasn't bad. Like there was some, some far away shots of the boat and the water and stuff where I'm like, okay, that's very obviously
CGI. The blood moving, was really like clearly CGI on a real set. So like they made these real sets, and then obviously just I don't know, but that's also 2002.
Right. They were just starting to figure out some of this tech. So actually what I want to do, we'll go ahead and full blown. I mean, obviously this movie is like old as shit now. I mean, how old are we? We're close to like 20 years old on this movie at this point. So it's older, but we'll go ahead and let y'all know that we're getting into spoilers. So we're fully into spoilers now. So just know that if you didn't end up watching this, we are going to be spoiling things about the movie. But it's an older film, and honestly, I think. Well, so I'll say this actually. I I would deem your wife's review as a spoiler review.
Oh yeah.
Because
Ooh.
I know she's getting scolded right now. You spoiled something. No, so there was a comment that she made early on. I happened to look at her review before watching it.
Yeah.
And in her review, she basically pointed out that that there in the first line of her review that there's a twist and that she ended up seeing it coming. And so knowing that there's a twist, I began looking for the twist.
Start analyzing for a twist.
Exactly. Whereas in my brain, if I had not known that there was a twist, I would have just been like, this is a horror movie. Like, I don't know, like it doesn't need a twist, whatever.
Right.
And so, but when she said that, then my brain started working and I was like, fuck, I figured it out.
Yeah, you're like, I figured out the twist.
Yeah, because
there's
I know,
only gonna be one twist, really.
Right.
When you think back on it, you're like, there is only one twist.
Right, exactly. So, and I'm curious for those that didn't know that there was a twist in this movie, like, and you hadn't seen this before, did you happen to see the twist coming, or did you know what was going to happen?
Yes. It was really kind of the scene. The first time I noticed it was the scene where they open the door closes itself and then the other door opens and all the corpses come floating in and he's kind of like smiling about it.
Yeah.
And then they go to the next room and he's all giddy. I was like, oh, he's obviously
right. This guy's a little weird
with the ghosts. I forgot that he was like the leader of the ghosts or like the Davy Jones.
Well, he's not. Yeah,
character.
he's almost more like a Davy Jones style character, which is interesting. And I kind of wish that they had fleshed him out, like fleshed his villain arc out. I think that is actually my biggest complaint with this movie is that basically we find out that the villain of the movie, who's the guy who got this whole thing started, the guy that I mentioned from Dexter, his name is Jack Ferryman. The last name, Ferryman, Ferryman of the Dead. Yeah. So I wish we had gotten a little bit more explanation about like his powers, like if he's a demon, if he is, who you mentioned a minute ago.
Yeah, Davy Jones.
Davy Jones, like what and who he is. But basically he is collecting souls. So the ghosts don't exactly work for him, but they do. Like,
yeah, they're like helping him because they want to go to the afterlife.
Right. They don't want to.
Not all of them are helping, obviously, because the girl's like, I'm not like the ghost. I'm not helping.
Well, because
I'm not a tainted soul.
Right, exactly. And her point was like, you know, there are going to be people that aren't going on to good places, basically. Yeah. Or so that was kind of the thing. And it sounded like also that actually with the souls that he collected, I think all the souls went to like hell or purgatory or wherever. They didn't go off into like a good afterlife. That was part of it.
Yeah, well, that's kind of my beef with part of my beef with the end.
Yeah. When they just don't explain a lot of this.
They don't. And it's like, I understand. Like, I don't want everything spoon fed to me, but I also want enough crumbs to like, for me to be able to like make a really good explanation.
Right.
And like at the very end, when the ship sinks and it looks like all the souls went up, which if we believe heaven and hell, like they're all going to heaven if they're going up.
Yeah.
It would have been interesting because I don't think all of them deserve
watching some of them get pulled to hell or something, like some of the bad guys. Yeah, that would have been a cool addition to it, and I guess
like if they shot it differently, because they could have shot it where you saw half the ship above the water, and the ship below, and you see souls going both ways.
And that would have been cool too, to kind of undercut a little bit of, so it didn't feel so happy ending-ish.
Yeah.
Like if they did that, where you got to see the bad guys like getting yanked down or whatever. So, but along the way though, obviously, so like they take their ship out, they go after this ghost ship to go find it. They're super surprised and that it is this legendary lost ship. And they're basically like, we can't report this. Like, we can't tell them we're here because it might take a while and this could be the biggest haul of our life.
Yeah, and other scavengers are going to come and try to like lay claim to it or whatever, or, rummage through the ship faster than we can because they have bigger crew and all that jazz. I mean, it kind of made sense, but also kind of didn't make sense.
Right.
To me, when we were talking about a story setup, because I was like, okay, but also, come on, really?
Right.
It seems a little like, if anything, they should have just been like, our radios are out. I don't know what happened, but like somebody broke our radio.
Right.
And I guess it would have given away about Jack. I don't know.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, there's still some loose ends with this that I'm still kind of trying to figure out process. I can tell y'all are kind of also doing that in the chat as well. And like one of the main crew members, we don't see his death as well. We just know that basically he was impersonated by Jack Ferryman later on. but which we can talk about in a little bit. But basically, you know, they start to get on the ship, and really this movie does take its time, but it's because it takes about 30 to 40 minutes before it really is like digging in. You get that cool opening,
yeah,
and then they build. But it's enough suspense and stuff happening while they're building that you're not bored. Like you're like, this is still interesting. This is still
it's
cool.
kind of, you get it. I felt like a sense of excitement.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like, oh man, they found this ship.
Right.
Like they're about to like try to figure out how to bring it back. I don't know if this is like the nautical side of me being like, yeah, this is cool.
Yeah.
They're gonna like try to like salvage this ship. Or if that's just like what the generic, I don't know if that was successful because of that, my background, or if that was like successfully like kind of what drew you in also.
Right. Yeah. No, I really like that part of it too, because you're like, oh, this almost kind of has an element of like adventure film to it. Like there's an adventure element to this of them discovering this mysterious ship, and they like run into it at full speed and screw up their ship, and like all that was cool.
It would have been cool if they did that and been like, oh, we broke our radio.
Right.
Antenna off or something like
that.
Because I mean, obviously ships are not supposed to run into each other.
Right.
Like they could have easily been like, oh, there's consequences. Or they could have been like, our radio broke. It must have broke during that.
Right.
Something like that where they couldn't call
out.
And they were like, well, you know, we have 3 days to do this. We either leave to go report this or we do it now.
Right.
I mean, it's just kind of semantic.
Right. And there are some loose ends where they leave it to either for you to decide or for you to just be aggravated about, which that is quite often a lot of movies, like in horror films in general. But so they get into the ship, and once things really get rolling, you know, obviously the kind of horror meme becomes like, all right, bad shit's going to start happening to people.
Yep.
We first see the young ghost girl who's played by Emily Browning, and she's just kind of showing up as this like non-malevolent ghost.
Right. Just an observant.
Right. And that all is intriguing, but you don't really know what her deal is. And I like how they played her character, because you don't see this aspect in movies a lot.
Yeah, you really don't. Most of the time, I can't think of another movie where they kind of just show ghosts.
Yeah.
Like ghosts willfully being like
helping
themselves and helping, or just being there.
Right.
It's like the captain ghost. I don't know if I don't think he was helping, but he also just was there.
Well, he did help technically, because he showed, so the captain shows up and he actually shows who the villain is. And so we don't know, but he shows the captain, the captain of the Scrappers, who the bad guy is and what's going on. And they show like, oh, he was actually on this ship all the way back then.
Yep.
And so he's helping too. So like there are clearly good ghosts on this ship, and then there are ghosts that decided to help the bad guy. And you know, then we've got sexy titty ghost, because as I have as I've said over and over again, it's not a good horror movie unless there's boobs. And obviously we had the you got like your one horn dog character, and you're like, brother, you're gonna die.
Yep. When a ghost starts walking around naked, seductively like drawing you in, you're gonna die.
You're gonna die. I mean, I hope it's worth it, is all I gotta say. Like, I hope it's worth it.
You know, so I've been watching Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And it's funny because almost most of the time, somebody will have sex, go off to like pee or clean up or whatever, then they die. I'm like, every time I'm like, good for them. Like they laid pipe, they laid on, and then they got murdered.
Right.
There's like a pinnacle. There was one movie though, or I guess there's two now, where like they were about to have sex and then they get murdered. I was like, oh, that's cold.
Right.
This director was cold to these people.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's always when they're boning. It happens. And so that was the thing. And I actually saw in the reviews, I am trying to remember who pointed it out. Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all saw it. I know that I saw 4 of the users talking about it as well. But that essentially, it seems like most of the crew was actually kind of, they were a little bit left out, but were almost like representing the seven deadly sins. So if you look at the crew and how they died, where you've got lust, then you've got like the gluttonous, so like the two bros that are eating. So there's a whole scene actually with Karl Urban where he is scarfing down talking about how good the food is.
Yeah, he and that other dude. I mean, they're a great duo. But so
and they're funny.
If there were 7 sins, I mean, one could be gluttony,
right?
But what was the other one?
I can't remember.
Envy.
Because
he was
envious.
He wanted
the girl,
the other chick, and didn't have the balls to like move on her or whatever.
Right, Marine.
Yeah.
He was interested in Marine. So there's envy,
greed.
Yep.
Because the captain was greedy.
The captain was greedy in the gold.
Call it in or anything like that.
exactly.
Element going on.
Or sloth, I guess, is what, instead of like gluttony, that's what sloth is called. That's like the gluttonous whatever. So like that was Karl Urban's character, and then Wrath. So like it seems like they checked off a lot of those boxes, which is an interesting thing because I didn't really catch that, and I don't know if outside of like outside of Criticless, if people have talked about this in the past, but there are definitely people in the app talking about it, and in somebody else's reviews.
Layers.
Yeah, it does.
Better.
It does. It makes it more interesting, honestly, when you look at it. And I think that honestly, even the twist and how they did some of that was super interesting.
I love the twist.
Yeah.
And if I hadn't had an inkling to the twist, I would have loved it even more because I just love that concept.
Right.
Because I had a beef with the beginning. I was like, why did this happen? What happened to all the other crew?
Right.
Like, why did this wire randomly snap in a seemingly like nonsensical way, like kill all these people? It's because the ferryman willed it, basically, to happen. And then he's just been making all these deaths happen, and like explained all my qualms away from the beginning of the movie. And in a way that was like, yes. And the plot twist where like you just see him just constantly taking all his people. I'm like, yes,
right.
This is fantastic.
It's super cool. And the sexy lady, when he takes her out, so you find out that she was like a part of helping his scheme, but then he goes to take her life and he gets her in the face with a freaking hook. And she's like hung up there and like her whole face is pulling off, and like there are some brutal kills in this movie. I will say that.
Yeah, there really are.
And so that's I think where the rubber meets the road as far as like horror. I don't necessarily find this movie scary. Right. Like there wasn't any moments where I was like, oh my god, like I'm scared, and I like
it's not like that suspense build necessarily.
Right. This is more of, and this was kind of on par, honestly, with a lot of these 2000 movies. Was they really leaned into shock factor? A lot of it was like it's not necessarily terrifying. It's just like I am going to give you this terrifying ordeal that like kind of like the Final Destination movies and stuff, where you're just like, oh my god, it's terrifying to think that could happen. So for example, Karl Urban, when he gets taken out, he gets sucked into a cog and gets just absolutely mulched. And it is brutal. I don't know if you caught it. They show a split second of it where you see his face on the floor, like laying down on the bottom of this water after he gets pulled through this cog because he's trying to fix the ship. And you see him start to swim underneath, and you're like, he's gonna die. This he's toast.
Oh yeah, I mean he was one of the last survivors, so he was due to die.
Yeah, as TG said, he got turned into chum. Absolutely. Ooh. Yeah, he did. And so you see a lot of just like these deaths. You can kind of predict some of them coming. You just don't know exactly how they're going to happen. Like the horny dude who's going after the sexy lady, he falls into an elevator shaft that he had been looking into earlier.
Right. Yeah, his I kind of saw coming. Because of that, that was a few where I was like, the foreshadowing fits what happens to him.
Yeah, it did. And so there were definitely some foreshadowing. So like, but the captain, they stick him in an aquarium, and he ends up basically the main villain ends up killing him and taking him out. And so he ends up getting drowned which is fairly fitting for his character being a captain and getting drowned in this aquarium thing.
Right. Kind of going down with the ship kind of situation.
Exactly. And so really though, we start to watch these guys being taken out. And so there was this blonde guy who actually gets impersonated by the ferryman, and we don't see how he died. We just know that he died.
Yeah, we never saw his body either. It would have been kind of cool if at one point they like showed his like corpse and we could like glean what happened to him.
Yeah.
From like the shape of his body or something like that.
Right. I wish we had kind of known that. But so we don't see him die. But then there's another guy, actually, the first one that gets taken out and gets blown up on their scavenger ship. They have no way to get back. And when that happens, it's just like, oh my God, you're stuck out in the middle of the ocean. Like that is terrifying. Ooh. That thought, like you're on a ghost ship, no way out. I don't even know at that point. I don't think that they had radios. But
no, I don't think they did.
But what sucked too is at this point they have found, which we didn't mention, is that this whole thing happened because of a heist. And basically a heist was planned and there was gold smuggled onto the ship. They found this gold. And that was surprising too, and a super cool moment because it's one of those things where it happens and you're just like, you know, hell yeah, this is what everybody wants to happen when they're scavenging, is find like a bunch of freaking gold.
Well, yeah, and it was also one of those like plot twists where I was like, oh, yeah, that was unexpected. and then it all kind of play. And then they're talking about how it's like, oh, it's like whoever it was been carved off. I was like, this is Nazi gold. Was what I thought.
Right.
Because you're talking about like evil, a source of evil.
It's like cursed gold.
Yeah, right. And so I was like, oh, this is cursed gold, until they were like, well, it's actually that this ferryman is collecting souls.
Right.
But they kept being like, he's super evil.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know if they were planning a sequel movie.
Right. It felt like
that didn't happen.
Like they could have headed that direction. There's a moment when the ferryman grabs someone's hand and it imprints like a hook. I don't know if you caught that, which was cool. But the marked soul, but they don't really explain it much. There are these little moments where it's like, there's some cool lore line in here. Like, I wish you would have dug into it more, and I feel like I'm like, the movie was an hour and a half. Was there 30 minutes of you guys kind of just fleshing this out a little bit more, maybe even 15, that really could have improved this a lot?
Yeah, it could have been a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah.
There's a little more, maybe somebody mentioned earlier, maybe some more ghost interaction.
Right.
Because that was the thing, is like every time they interacted with a ghost, it wasn't negative.
Mm-hmm.
Not really, if you think about it. Like, you have the girl ghost, you have the captain ghost, and then you have the singer ghost. Singer ghost was a little bit negative because, she murders him.
Yeah.
But 1 out of 3, that's a 33% of negative ghost interactions here. That's not a bad ghost interaction ratio.
Right.
Very important when it comes to movies like this.
Right. And I think that they did a good job of making the young girl being like the helper. Emily Browning was there to help everybody. Yeah. So they had some interesting aspects here. It just was missing a little meat on the bones.
And it could have just been something where there was other ghost experiences. Because that's the thing, is Karl Urban, the other dude, the mechanic, the black dude, none of them, the black dude, and the mechanic, they didn't really have any ghostly experiences, but it would have been interesting,
right,
if they had some where they were like, that was not a real thing, or even if it was just like a ghost like behind them trying to get their attention and couldn't get their attention, stuff like that, just so we could see some more elements of the ghost.
Right. No, I agree. And maybe even some conflict between the good and bad ones or whatever. But yeah, there was definitely some cool stuff happening here. Now, how did you feel about the end? Because the way that they end this is that basically the ship sinks. We talked about it earlier. All the souls are let loose out of the ship because the ship is destroyed and the ferryman can't finish his job. He can't collect all of his required souls, but so they're let loose into the heavens or wherever they go. And then the character that we don't really talk about a lot, who's kind of the main character who survives, but she's not super interesting. She's kind of the audience surrogate. She's kind of carrying us through the story.
Yeah, she's carrying us along.
Yeah, it is Maureen. She survives and she ends up getting rescued. She floats around on the ocean and gets rescued by another cruise ship.
Right.
And so she gets saved. She gets put on a stretcher. And while she's laying on the stretcher, she sees that the gold is now once again being put onto a new ship.
While aggressive 2000s metal music is playing.
Yeah.
I was just like, this is one way to finish it.
And she's like, no.
Yeah. I like it because that was the thing, was he wasn't a soul attached to the boat. And like my mythology from my understanding of the mythology created here was that he is somebody who's collecting souls. So just because he had attached himself to this boat as his like moneymaker, did not mean like killing him would be done.
Right.
And so I really liked that. What I would have changed, I would have had it instead of like the same like military guys.
Right.
It would have been great if it was her crew.
Yeah.
Dressed up.
Oh, as his helpers?
Yes.
That would have been like, sick.
Yeah, just dressed up like whatever, like uniform.
Right.
Him walking behind them.
Yeah.
That to me.
That would have hit harder.
Because the thing was, they were all marked. That's why they all were killed.
Right.
Because they all had their greed or their whatevers.
Yeah.
Like that would have been even better. But I like the ending.
Right.
I was just like, yeah, this makes sense. He's not done collecting souls.
Which, and with him doing that, it did set it up to where like they could have done a thing where they made a sequel and like, you know, this other cruise ship that's now getting gold smuggled onto it. Everybody dies and somebody stumbles into that ship and blah, blah, blah. Like they could have continued on with these, but I don't think that this movie did super well. As we pointed out, the critics hated it. But with the critics hating it, it's kind of one of those things that we constantly come back to where it's like Criticless is currently, I'll refresh, make sure sure that if any of other reviews have come in, is currently at a 68%. Is how broken the Rotten Tomatoes scale is as a whole, because it just doesn't really showcase the opinions well enough. So I'm scrolling or zooming way in here because I really want to show y'all's reviews here. But yeah, so with the Rotten Tomatoes scores, though, it just isn't very reflective of it, because it's like maybe the critics all gave it, 2 stars or equivalent of like a 50%, but on Rotten Tomatoes, those are negative, and therefore they all get factored into being a negative score, and so it gets a 20-something%. So, but yeah, we got our first review in here is by Bulldog, which was his 188th review. Congratulations, dude. That's awesome.
Nice.
Said he saw it a few years ago. The opening death scene sticks in his head, and yeah, that is one of those that just really does stick with you. We got Gas Station Burrito, who's also in the chat, said a great movie, great soundtrack, interesting plot, and yeah, biggest crush on Emily Browning in middle school, and then the singer's boobs were very good too. So I feel you.
Yeah,
I feel you. It gave it an 88%, and Probably Toxic gave it a 76%. So far we've got a rad, a most excellent, another rad. And so, yeah, been trying to give the horror movie genre a go this month, mostly because of us in The Hangover. So also appreciate that if you're not a big horror person, that you're kind of delving into some of these. And hey,
you liked it.
Right.
Maybe we're opening some doors here.
Right. And that's the thing is, like, there are fun horror movies out there. There's ones that aren't going to give you nightmares forever. Like, this isn't one of those movies that I'm going to like have nightmares about. Like, it wasn't like, there are some movies where they end and I'm just like, oh my God, like this is going to be in my brain forever.
Yeah.
They tend to be
for a long time.
Honestly, quite often it's like, freaking Freddy Krueger, man, like that dude and the dreams.
Visiting in your dream.
Yes. Like that. Those stick with me. But I haven't seen one in ages, so maybe they wouldn't anymore. But yeah, so Face of what is that? Face of Bo and Rue, right?
Yeah.
Bo Andrew, maybe?
Something Andrew.
Face of Bo Andrew. Yeah, we'll say that. So I gave it a 75% as well. Said it was a good horror film. Now Bob Rogers has reviewed this as well, and Bob came in with the Nerdotic crew and got on to Crit Club and is one of our most excellent users. Everybody do that. If you are not on Criticless, on the Crit Club Most Excellent, definitely do that. That is our paid version of Criticless, and that is definitely the best way, the number one way to support us and to help Criticless grow. And it also gets you verified so that you don't end up getting impersonated like Benology did this week, and then I shared it to everyone and furthered the impersonation.
Way to help spread fake news.
Listen, we have verification for a reason. That's all I'm saying.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying, man. So, but yeah, but Bob has come in, been super active, really appreciate it, has been using the app a lot. Fuzzy Ninja gave this a 60% and said he finally watched it all the way through and said it turns your head into a pretzel. So yeah, I think that the twist, all of that is really cool with the way that they handled it. I think it is a fun horror movie because a lot of the times horror movies just kind of drive you through the plot. Like, there's no twist, there's no mystery to solve, there's no...
Right, it's how do we stop the ghost?
Right, and actually watching this, I was like, this is kind of a Scooby-Doo movie.
It is kind of a Scooby-Doo movie.
Like, this is legit, like, this could be an episode of Scooby-Doo. Outside of the fact that it's technically still supernatural and it's rated R. Murdered. Yeah, they all get murdered. But like, this could easily be an episode of Scooby-Doo, and I think that aspect alone is super cool. But so Winefiend gave this a 60%. So your wife, who has seen this quite a few times, and gave a spoiler in the first sentence. Geez, Xena. But yeah, gave it a 60%. So it sounds like she's seen it quite a few times. So she was actually lower than you were.
Yeah.
So, but yes, still likes it though. And Gina Sanis in the chat gave it a 90%. Nice. Loves this movie and gave it the Mudvayne video. Gotta respect. I hear you. And so clearly, definitely still really like this one a lot. I think it's really good stuff. And definitely go check out his review as well. Beach Dad also in the chat gave it a 65% and said, remembered watching it many years ago and liked it a little bit more this time. And that's the thing is, I saw it so many years ago and was just like, did not retain a lot of it. But then we got the man, the myth, the legend here, JB Spooky Review, gave this a 10%. Bro. Absolutely brutal. But we need your type of opinions,
Honestly,
we aren't always about, because that's the thing is with us also both liking this fairly well. Now granted, like I said, I totally can understand why people don't like it. Between the very 2000s-ness of it, there is some campy elements to it. It's not like a perfect highbrow film.
It's also one of those movies where they like sometimes just give away from logic. So like for me at the very end where she's just like swimming in the ocean. So I've swam in the Arctic Ocean and I was in it for like 10 minutes and I couldn't feel my body at all. And I was like drunk and I was just like, I can't feel my body.
Right.
So I couldn't imagine just being like, and it wasn't even like Titanic where she was like floating on something.
Right.
Like she was just like swimming, I'm pretty sure. And I think they eventually found her floating on something, but even then.
Yeah, she was floating on a luggage thing.
Yeah, she
for
would
most
have been
of it,
like ice cold. Like, I mean.
Oh, it'd be terrible. It would be absolutely.
To me, I was like, she probably should be dead.
Right.
Not just.
Which we didn't know exactly how long she'd been out there, but depending on how long she was floating for.
Yeah, but you're also like up in Alaska. Like there's not that many cruise ships that go up there that want to tow like the international line and stuff. I don't know.
Right. But yeah, so JB said overall not a huge fan outside of that opening and stuff. Said he does not recommend it and don't be fooled by its killer opening. So I still had a good time with it. I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
But for the users, for the users as well, gave it an 83%. And as she pointed out, 23 years ago, the movie came out and everybody said you got to see this because of the opening scene. And she's very much right. And that's why this movie kind of went quote unquote like viral back in the day, was because the opening scene was just so like it caught your attention so well and kind of stuck with people's brains. But so Bronze Berserker gave it a 73% as well, said solid horror movie. Normie gave it a 60%, also talking about that opening sequence just because it gets everybody. But how this film only has a 13% on Rotten Tomatoes is beyond me. And yeah, that's the thing, is that is so brutal, but it's like we talked about. Their system is just so broken. There's no good way to balance that out. But TG also, this was part of the 19 out of 31 days of Halloween. So this was one of the Halloween reviews that he did and gave it 83%, or she, they. I'm guessing a he. I don't know. Just wildly guessing. I have no idea. And War Machine gave it a 70% as well with the Mudvayne song because hey, gotta love some Mudvayne. And JJ Happenstance is in the chat, gave it a 72%. So it sounds like everybody is pretty solidly in this like rad area. And I think that's the thing that really does kind of elevate us, is being able to have this differentiating scale.
Okay.
Oh, it is a he. Okay, there we go.
It's a he.
I was pretty sure. Honestly, I just figured I'd give you a little crap. But yeah. So JJ liked it a lot and has apparently seen this one several times as well. So this one is one that stuck with people. Life on Marshmallows gave it an 80% as well. And yes, very early 2000s goodness. It's a lot of that and that new metal as well. Now, Wasp, though, was not super crazy about it. She gave it 59%. But granted, I say not super crazy. She's really only about a point or two from me. So that's the thing. When you see that decent, like you got to look at where those points are, where those points lie. But and I totally understand that. So I totally get it. Brimstone reviewed it as well. Gave it a 77%. And then we're into some of the older reviews like Retro Roy. We've got a lot of rads in here. And then Lofty Pixels with a low effort ship missile. The site is full of those from Lofty. So as it goes. But yeah, that's pretty much all of y'all's reviews there on this thing. And I think that this movie really was I had a fun time with it. I'm glad I went back to it. I don't know that I'd see it again anytime soon.
And see, I'm in the other camp.
Are you?
Where like I almost want to just rewatch it again. Because Genius and it's just commented about like the bromance.
Yeah.
Just seeing like Karl Urban.
Right.
And like how the cast interacts. We don't see a lot of movies like that. Even like because Karl Urban doesn't act like that anymore. If you think about like the stuff he does nowadays, he's not like goofy. And there's not a lot of movies where I feel like an actor I care about is kind of goofy like that.
Right.
There's just something about this that makes me be like, hey, I want to like watch it again because it's so different. And I wanna pick up on more things.
Right.
Like the ferryman, like that being his name. Like upon a rewatch, I think he even introduces himself like that. I would have been like, oh, ferryman. Yeah. He's a ferryman of souls.
Right.
Like I would have picked up on that upon
on the cool hidden stuff for sure.
Else, like upon a rewatch might pop up and be like, oh,
right.
There we go.
Right.
So,
exactly.
I might rewatch it.
Right.
I rented it. Damn it. I'm going to keep a hunt out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try to thrift a DVD copy.
Right.
That's what I'm going to do.
Perfect. No, that's perfect. Yeah, that's actually no. So right now everybody can know Amazon right now. This movie and two others. It is a Blu-ray pack. They're not even DVDs. They're actual Blu-rays, but it is Ghost Ship and Return to Oh, it's a sequel to another horror movie. But anyways, I'll look at it in a second.
Okay.
But it is a 3-pack DVD set, and it's literally like $8 or Blu-ray set for like $8, and this movie is in it right now on Amazon.
I wish I had known that because I would have just bought the physical.
Right.
I spent $4 on a rental, $8 for 3 movies. Come
exactly. That's where I was, and what I was struggling with because I was like, crap, I should have just bought this. Let me see here. Let's see.
Well, here, while you're looking that up, we've got a $5 from my Dixie Rect. Much appreciated, dude. Didn't watch the movie, but my music entry, Prehistoric Dog by Red Fang.
Ooh, nice.
Hilarious, nerdy video.
Oh, heck yeah.
Much appreciated, dude. I will make sure it gets on our playlist. And as you guys can see, both him and Caveat Ties, which I'll read his later, if you super chat us, we will add your song choice to our playlist. So if you want to come see a wacky playlist of songs, you can check it out on this channel.
Yep, definitely you can. And so I was able to find it. So the DVD set Blu-ray set is House of Wax, Ghost Ship, and Return to House on Haunted Hill for $10.
Dang.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 out of the 3 of those are awesome.
I've never seen Return to House on Haunted Hill. Right. Either way, that's still like cheaper than renting them basically. So or right at the same price, and then you can watch them as much as you want. So might be worth purchase. So yeah, there is that. And then also, I guess I should mention, now that we're done talking about the movie, the plan right now is to do 13 Ghosts. I can't remember. Do you remember if that was super chatted for? Is that why we decided to do that?
I think it was, and it came in second.
Okay. So unless something happens with the chat where y'all really influence us to review something else next week, the plan is to do 13 Ghosts, unless somebody comes in swinging hard like with a super chat or something and knows of a better horror movie to do before or for a Halloween review for next week. So that is the plan, is that it'll be the day before Halloween. We want a good Halloween friendly movie. 13 Ghosts seemed like a fun one last week when we were talking about it. I think it got some super chats last week. But that is 13 Ghosts is where we are aiming for. It's the same director as this movie, as we mentioned. So there is that as well. So, but there are other Critic-Hated movies like this that do fall into this camp. So unless there was something else that y'all maybe wanted to do more, but Beach Dad says, yay, more boobs. And yes, at some point I do need to see Event Horizon, JJ Happenstance. That is one I've never seen.
Oh, see, I watched it for the first time last year or 2 years ago.
Right.
It's very good. You're going to find it disturbing.
Really?
I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. There are definitely plenty more movies and as we go. And that's the thing for everybody to be thinking on next month, is what kind of stuff are we going to do next month? What movies do y'all want to watch? I have my Criticless list as far as that goes of these Critic-Hated movies. And so there's that as well. So make sure to check out that list if there's stuff that y'all really want us to do next month. I want to do Death to Smoochie next month at some point, especially if it's easy to find.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen it. It's directed by Danny DeVito.
Makes me think it's probably not anywhere since nobody's seen it.
It is just, it's one of those obscure kind of semi-indie like movies that just no one saw. And it's not one of those that's ever going to be like featured on the main page,
right?
You know, right now, Death to Smoochie is currently nowhere free that I'm seeing, unless it's on like Tubi or something.
November.
No, it is on Tubi. It is on Tubi right now, so you can technically see it on Tubi. But that'll be next month. So yeah, we have to do Thanksgiving at Thanksgiving. Yeah, I feel you, Beach Dad. Yeah, maybe we will do that. So yeah, there's some interesting stuff that we can plan on doing. You guys just let us know. It's, chat and super chats and whatever as next month comes along. But 13 Ghosts is a plan for next month right now, or not next month, next week for Halloween. Yeah. And I guess it's time to do our send-off songs, Matt. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it.
About our movie. Yeah, so I know our movie's coming up. So
yeah, we're literally gonna like press end and then leave.
Yep, and head straight to the movie theater.
Yeah,
so we got time. So all right, Matt, what do you got for your send-off song? And if everybody doesn't know, we do send-off songs at the end of every episode. If you super chat a song like some of y'all have done in the chat, we've already had 2. My Dixie gave one, which was his recommending a prehistoric dog by Red Fang. We'll add that to our send-off song playlist. Same for Caveat Ties. I'm gonna let Matt read this. You're welcome.
Caveat Ties, can you start listening to modern music? I don't even know, like non più tutto ascolti Non temper molto bene by Mozart.
There you go. Molto bene.
Yes.
A molto bene. Isn't bene good?
Yeah, I think so. But non temper, I don't know. I have no idea. It's German.
Yeah.
I think. And I don't speak any German. I speak a little Spanish and Italian. Like, I don't know. It's a very different language.
Right.
Anyways. So I didn't really know what to pick this time around.
Well, hold on. Let's finish the super chat, by the way. But yeah, so he said that was his send-off song while I drive to pick up my son from skating. So yeah. Thanks, buddy. We appreciate it. We'll add it to the list.
Yep. All right. So my song, since Mudvayne is featured prominently here, I love Mudvayne too. And I'm going to do my favorite Mudvayne song because I don't think it gets enough love nowadays. But A World So Cold by
nice.
Mudvayne.
Nice.
It's like one of my first songs I heard by them, and I just like have always loved it. And I mean, I don't really like their newer stuff. The lead singer left, or they split ways, and he started another band called Hell Yeah, which is a pretty dope band. And they changed their sounds, but it's not the same without him. So their older stuff is way better than their new stuff.
Nice. Okay, sweet. So the song that I am going to recommend that y'all check out is by a band called Rebounder. They're not a big band, but the song is called Japanese Posters. So Japanese Posters by Rebounder. The interesting thing about this song is that I thought it was an Arctic Monkeys song. It sounds so close to them. It's really strange. And I was like, this is not a band that people emulate, so it's very weird to hear something sound like them. So it intrigued me. But anyways, yeah, Japanese Posters by Rebounder. It's a good song. Check it out. We'll add it to the playlist. And I think actually that's going to be it for today, guys. It's been another fun episode. Love hanging out with you guys in the chat, and we will be doing more of this. There's I've got a lot of things brainstorming and tossing around right now as the channel continues to grow. We are definitely between these new types of videos that I've been putting out with these reviews, these short format things. It's definitely helping us grow. More people are finding the channel between that and the Geeks and Gamers partnership and all of that stuff. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna keep doing how we've been doing. It sounds like you guys are really liking these Critic-Hated movie reviews, and we're having a lot of fun with it over strictly just the new stuff. So
yeah, I'm still waiting for the day we can go like shit talk some Star Wars or something,
right?
Some of those critically loved movies, because I think people do love a good shit talk.
Oh god. But yeah, so we are heading out of here in Wasp. Take it easy. Glad to have you in here. I know you were laying low during the chat today, but glad that all of you guys that lurk and are just hanging, glad to have you in the chat as well. Those of y'all that we weren't necessarily talking directly to through this, but I'm excited next week to talk about 13 Ghosts. It's going to be Halloween time, which is going to be really fun. This is at least my favorite time of the year for sure. So, and watching all these horror movies has been great
for sure.
So, and Matt and I are headed off to see another horror movie. So y'all will know pretty soon here, at the very least, what my opinion is on Shelby Oaks. I'm sure Matt will be dropping a review in the app.
I'll probably be on Criticless tomorrow.
Right. So we'll be dropping the reviews and stuff. This has been a great show, guys. Take it easy. Later, everybody.
Later.